Wrong one. Right one. I'm on the wrong seat.
Really?
I nearly did it. Hello, Pedro. How are you?
Hi, everybody.
Right, so starting off with, have you seen the changes on the starting grid? Yuki had a 3-place grid penalty, so he'll start P17, and K-Mag is going to start from the pit lane as he changed engine components.
No.
I think I did see it.
No was the
I
answer.
saw something.
Yeah.
I saw something about
He was impeding Hamilton, I think.
impeding Hamilton, yeah.
To be fair, this is Zandvoort. You can see how tight and narrow and twisty this course is. They were just tripping over each other all qualifying session long. 20 cars on that track. So, yeah. Hi, Pedro. Hi, Kulios. Hi, anybody else. We're back with the F1 RST podcast.
We are. After a month.
I know, a month
Summer
off.
break.
I know. We had to relearn how to do this, didn't we?
Yeah.
And we are at the wonderful seaside track of Zandvoort.
We are indeed.
I nearly said Zolder. Begin with Z, it's close enough.
Close enough.
When you really see an aerial shot like we can see at the moment, I know we're looking at the drivers, but you can see around them. It literally is on the seaside. I mean, it could not get much closer. I mean, 30 or 40 yards the other way and they're in the sea. It's literally it's a golf course, really. So, it's a beautiful location. It was a very challenging track, as we found out from our pre-GP last night, didn't we, Sarah?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
I'll be brutally honest, I had to completely relearn it during practice and qualifying because I'd forgotten which way it went. One year in between racing this course, I've forgotten everything apart from the final corner.
Yeah, that final corner's not one to forget, is it?
No. I did forget about that curb until I went up over it.
Yeah. So, Pedro said there's a 70% chance of rain. Take it as you want.
Yeah, he knew my reaction to that one, didn't he? Yeah, 70% chance of rain in F1 is a 100% chance of nothing.
Alright, so got some thingies, some information. Starting tyres are in, and it's a fresh set of softs for absolutely everyone bar one driver.
Who's
Lewis
the
Hamilton
one
is starting on a set of mediums. He definitely rolled the dice out there.
Oh, Lando's got that livery which has love on the side, and it has loads of names in the black, just barely visible, and Dominic written in bright blue.
Oh.
If anyone knows the answer to that one, please let us know, because I've got a feeling there's a message in there somewhere. Interesting. Okay, so yeah, Hamilton's obviously going to be trying to play the long game, isn't he?
Indeed.
And this will be 72 laps, plus the formation lap, plus maybe any red flag stoppages that might happen. So...
Martin, pitbull to Alonso. A little bit of rain about 5 minutes away. We aren't sure how hard it is.
Shows that the weather forecasters are doing their job around there.
Yeah.
Fair, I guess. Absolutely fair. Okay, I guess. Well, apparently, 2023 marks the 75th anniversary of the Zandvoort circuit. I mean, you can see it's a track that's not built for modern F1. And don't get me wrong, it's not horrible for F1 like I thought it was going to be when they announced it was coming back a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
But you
It's
could
very old,
old school.
old school like Monza vibes with the bank corners.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. But I would argue it's better suited for something like forgive the it's the wrong country, but BTCC and GT sort of racing, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Um, However, a little bit of rain will equalise everything, as we found out in the pre-GP, skidding around on dry tyres on a wet track for 3/4 of the distance of it, which was just nuts. If anyone hasn't
Oh,
seen it, please check out Sarah's Twitch or my Twitch and YouTube, because it's all on there. It's quite funny. Or
yeah.
Max
Please
even.
do.
So McMahon. So
Yeah, we got our representative Pedro said McLaren have had to change the yellow to love, like they did last year, as the healthcare authorities in the Netherlands have banned that advertisement.
fair enough. But why Dominic highlighted then? That's my question.
So, what we predicting? Will Lando have a good start? Will he be able to pit Max like he did at Silverstone for a few corners?
I think if anyone can predict this one right now, do you know what? I don't know. I've absolutely no idea. And Norris, yeah, let's get Norris out in front. We're going to have Norris out in front. Hello, Mandy. And Koulios also says there's a lot of bank corners, so the water doesn't stay there for a while. He has a very good point.
True.
Yeah, we're going to have Norris leading the first lap. Let's have that, shall we?
And hopefully a good race for Liam Lawson, his first F1 race.
He's just got to finish.
He's just got to finish, you know.
First race after a month break.
Yeah, let's go.
Let's do this. Come on, Lando.
Right, so, and away we go. Oh, we had a really shocking start there.
Just Albon, don't crash into anyone, please. Everyone leave Albon alone. Let him get a good result. Yeah, Russell up into P3. I'm happy with that. That's fine. Oh, Alonso going nuts!
Damn. Went for the low.
That's a cracking start from Alonso. And there are droplets of water on the camera.
There are.
No, just watch. Okay, yeah, you can just see that Williams has not got as much grip as any other car out there. It's like, nope, anyone right round the outside. Oh, he's coming back at him.
Oh.
Williams taking a Ferrari. What's going on? Yeah, nice to see you, man. You're doing well, sweetie. Oh, I can't believe that. Williams taking back a Ferrari. And then Perez.
The good old days.
Yeah, oh god, that's the 90s, that is.
How comes Liam Lawson's got the fastest lap? He's not even finished the lap yet.
That's weird. It's raining.
What?
It's peeing down. I can't say anything.
Damn.
Just
One lap in.
no,
Isn't that
so
rain
everybody
already?
pit, just pit. Somebody pit. Okay, Perez is in. Half the field are coming in, it looks like. This is either going to be one of those things where you skid... Okay, Perez can't leave the pits because everyone's in the way. Right? It's going to be one of those things where it's either going to dry up super fast, exactly like Julio said. Ferrari weren't ready. Ferrari didn't have the tyres ready. Oh, Ferrari.
Ferrari doing Ferrari things.
Oh, Alonso's going mad. He's just... Nah, this is still dry. Because he's showing his experience here, isn't he? So he can work out where the grip is.
Oh my, this went from 0 to 100 real quick.
It really has. But they're being so gentle. They are not... No one's skidded off yet. I mean, complete kudos to all of the drivers so far. Is it going to be one of those things where it's going to dry out and the dry tyres are going to pick back up before the Inters A, get past, and B, get far enough to repit? No, do you know what? I think the Inters are the only way to go right now. What do you think, Sarah?
Yeah, especially with those sort of conditions with a lot of spray. It's just safe to go on the Inters.
They've got to pit. They've got to pit. Yeah. Max in, Alonso in. Norris has carried on. Russell's carried on. They're gambling.
Russell's... I don't know, with that spray.
Russell's going into P1. He's taken the lead into turn 1. Norris is trying to hold on.
Oh, that Mercedes looks very wobbly.
It will do. It's on dry tyres on a wet track.
True.
Alright, Max is being passed by a lot of the Inter runners that have already pitted.
Question for you, Midnight. Russia 2021 again?
Yeah, I was thinking that. I was trying to ignore it. I was thinking Sochi, don't do it again, Norris, please.
Yeah, don't do it.
Okay, Lewis has stayed out as well, so it's both Mercs. We're going to have to brave... The Mercedes are braving it out.
But look at Perez, he's flying past them all.
Yeah, he was the first one in. Literally the first one in.
That kind of shows you what tyre is a bit dominant at the moment, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it's clearly they're the right tyre. I mean, you've kind of got to give it to Lando and Russell for trying it, but it's the wrong position.
Well, Lando, Russell, Albon, Piastri, Stroll is still on softs, Bottas is still on softs, Hulk's still on soft, and Hamilton's still on mediums.
Yeah. We just saw a notice... Oh.
Ooh.
Leclerc doing his a bit better impression of himself. I so thought we were going to have the Alpine in the back of the Williams there.
Yeah. Oh.
Do you know what? I forgot what I was going to say. Well, it's not raining anymore, from the looks of it.
Yeah, but it's the track's still got a lot of spray.
Yeah, and Perez is already 11 seconds ahead of Russell and all that. Norris has come in.
When did that happen?
Perez is
When did that happen?
that lap. Zhou's into P2. What?
Damn. The lot that pitted first for the Inters have really, really struck some luck there.
Yeah, you've got to race the conditions that are in front of you, not what you hope are there in 5 laps time.
Lawson's still with the fastest lap.
Yeah. Kira said, who's Jose? I said, Zhou.
Jose?
Zhou Guanyu. Zhou.
Yeah.
Or Joe, depending on how you want to pronounce it.
That went from, look, that's dry there. That's completely dry. And at the end of that lap, it was soaked. Right.
Oh, that was cracking. I'm not going to be the anti-Max Verstappen brigade, but he's only in P3 and he's only like 10 seconds, 12 seconds behind Perez. So we're still going to have a Max win. Who's obviously after the 9th victory in a row today in consecutive Grand Prix to equal Sebastian Vettel.
I think it's definitely doable. But that the Williams and the McLarens really did try and hang on, didn't they? But
yeah, the only thing I would have done differently is I would have split strategy, particularly between the McLarens and the Mercs. One stays out, one goes on Inters. Split strat.
Yeah, see what it works.
Yeah.
See what doesn't.
Yeah, and as Petra said, it shows that GT7 weather physics are somewhat realistic. Somewhat. It costs nearly €1 million to get his license each year because of how fast he is. Oh, for Max. Yeah, yeah. Where are that? Yeah. Apparently, the more points you have in F1, the more it costs your license to renew it, or something like that.
Yeah.
It's really odd. Really odd. I mean, it should be uniform. It should
Oh,
be
look at
equal.
that. You can't see anything.
If it was not stopping Alonso, was it?
No.
You can just tell how much more confidence he had than Norris. Do you think, with what happened in Sochi in 21, Norris was going, nope, not put my foot down, nope? Do you reckon there was a
Maybe.
psychological component there?
Could be. Or, like, trying to not crash out, and
Yeah.
with those, like, we've seen it qualifying and practice, it takes out one mistake and you're in the wall. So maybe it was just tiptoeing around just to get it back into the pits.
Verstappen's got Gasly.
Nice.
And they've just said light rain in 10 minutes as well.
Yeah. If anyone didn't watch our pre-GP yesterday, Mark said that the whole race. And it ended up being wet the whole race.
Until the
end.
And then it was wet.
Then it was wet, yeah.
Properly wet. Right, I was going to say there's a couple of runs still on their soft tyres, but now that is like Albon, who is 57 seconds off the lead.
Yeah, and Piastri, Bottas and Hulkenberg.
Mm.
Yeah, I feel bad for the McLarens, but they just didn't react as quickly as the other teams, really, did they?
Tried to brave it out. Liam Lawson penalty. That's what I was going to mention. There was a note that came up and disappeared really quickly. It says impeding. We're not in qualifying. What's he got?
Yeah,
How can you impede someone in the race? Does that make any sense to anybody?
No.
Or was it during the pits or something weird? We've got Mario in the chat.
Hi. How are you?
McLaren been studying Ferrari strategy.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah. And kudos, impeding means getting in the way, basically. So how has Lawson managed to impede someone?
Something in the pits. Got to be something.
Yeah, but that would be an unsafe release or unsafe entry or something.
Yeah, you'd think.
I don't know. F1.
Need some clarification on that F1.
Yeah, and Lawson's actually running in P11 at the moment in his first Grand Prix, deputising for Ricciardo, who unfortunately broke his metacarpal? Whatever the one's in the hand. Pedro. Metacarpal?
Sargent is still on the slicks and he's been lapped by
That's not a surprise.
Perez.
I mean, you can probably look at it now and say the dry tyres might be the tyre to be on. Because you can see Max is already looking for the wet part of the track to cool those inters off. And he's already caught Perez by 5 seconds in like 2-3 laps.
Jesus Christ. No way Red Bull will allow Perez to win, but will there be a one-on-one battle with Max? Ooh.
He'll try, but it won't go well.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Honestly, I think the tyres now to be on are the soft tyres. But, I mean, you can already see Russell is now behind Hamilton, and Norris is just in front of well, when I say just in front, he's 18 seconds in front. But this field actually does need a safety car to bunch them all up again.
Yeah, no, 100%. Charles has front wing damage.
Sainz being his own strategist again.
I'm assuming that's when he went off into the gravel.
I would presume so. Where are they running? The 6th and 7th at the moment.
6 second a lap faster will be easy pass for Max. That's a big discrepancy between teammates on the same tyre.
I don't think
Max
he's been 6 seconds faster, but at least 1.5 seconds.
Max, well, let's be real. Max this year is on a whole different. It's in a whole different league.
Okay, yeah, Ferrari have done the right thing and let Sainz through on Leclerc, which is just the correct thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
The more it goes on, the more I think it's. I don't think Max is being given radically different equipment in that Red Bull because they have the budget to be able to give Perez the same thing. But Perez has been defeated by him.
Yeah.
You need a fresh driver in there with a strong mentality, and Alonso, a Hamilton, a Ricardo back in there to be able to stand up to Max. Because otherwise you have
Verstappen
this.
is gaining 4 seconds per lap on Perez.
I'd love to see
That's
that.
the average.
Okay, I'd love to see that in a graphic because I'm sure it's only about a second and a half. But either way, that's still very, very quick. The funniest start in history, Fred. Check out Spa '98. Trust me.
I'm trying to see what 10-second penalty for Lawson for impeding in the pits.
How did he manage
Still,
that?
exactly, that's what I was trying to figure out, but I'm not too sure what happened there.
It doesn't make any sense. Well, yeah, you asked about crazy starts. I mean, Spa '98 is definitely the craziest. Okay. The race is starting to settle down now, but we've got a massive field spread after only 10 laps. Hamilton's back
Yep,
in, so they're all pitting for dry tyres again.
well, I don't know. The first sector definitely there's a dry line there, but later on in the lap, I still don't know if there's a 100% a dry line. Piastri with the fastest lap. Goal. Good old pastry.
Good old pastry. I'm hungry again. Yeah, he's on soft tyres at the back, so the soft tyres the fastest one now. I'll be expecting Perez to be in now.
Yeah.
If Max comes in before him, then it's a sign of favouritism. DRS is enabled. That means Codemasters has defined this as a dry bit of the race now.
Here comes all of basically all the cars back. So yeah, unfortunately, a few cars there being very unlucky with the race start strategy calls.
Absolutely.
It's like you say, it's almost like, do they hold on, or do they not? And a lot of them.
Honestly, I think you have to race the conditions that are in front of you, not what is 10 minutes down the road, because it might not appear anyway.
Yeah, 100%. Do you know what's really weird to see?
Box for Verstappen. Okay, there comes the favouritism.
No.
If they're
Do you
bringing
know what's
Max
really
in ahead of
weird to
Perez.
see?
What?
Hamilton and Russell that far down.
I know, right?
It's like, oh.
I know. And to answer what Mario said a minute ago, 2005 USA was the one with the 6-car start. That was a really weird one, I'll give you that.
Hamilton just starting on his own.
Okay, double stack for Ferrari, I think. Front wing for Leclerc, but I've got a feeling Leclerc just went round again. So Gasly's pitted. Yeah, they've let Max in before Perez. I'm calling favouritism on that one.
Yeah, Williams were really unlucky. Max spins with dry tyres.
Has he?
Spun? I was say, has he spun? I don't think he has. He's still still in second.
Okay, so this is the damage for Leclerc. Oh, so he's
Or
clonked the side
yeah.
of Piastri, I think.
I was gonna say not really Piastri's fault. He kind of, and if anything, it was kind of glad that Piastri was there, kind of straightened him up again.
Did kind of, didn't it? It's one of those drunk things
No.
when you fall over into something the person next you go, oh, thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Yeah.
Mario says no, just wishful thinking. Yeah.
These two are going to come out roughly side by side, and Max is just going to monster him into turn 3.
Mm-hmm.
That's if they're even side by side now I think about it. Yeah, and as Mario said, Max's tyres are going to be up to temperature. Finally, they've got a split screen working. He's already gone.
He's gone. He's left. He's gone.
Red Bull did that on purpose to stop them fighting.
Yeah.
I can call that now without any shadow of doubt. Well, that was fun. That was fun for 13 laps.
Yeah. Now it's just
back to normal.
Norris with the fastest lap.
Alonso's still in P3, only 5-6 seconds off the lead. So that's pretty good going. So what we're going to see here, Alonso and Zhou? Oh, he's just going to monster him into turn 3.
Yeah.
Watch this, drop straight up the inside. Cheeky. He did that earlier in the race to Norris. We might as well say the Dutch national anthem at the moment is the F1 anthem.
We hear it so often.
So Perez, what's he going to say? Did Max undercut us? Yes. Yes, he did.
I mean, that was completely obvious. Like,
right.
I want to kind of see what Lawson did.
Yeah. What? Yeah. Did we get a clarification on why he got a penalty? I mean, we got impeding in the pit lane.
Yeah, I saw that.
But it doesn't make any sense still.
No. Massive undercut with dry tyre. Perez never asked to pit first. Yeah.
The F1 outro. Okay, right. So Lawson has fallen backwards through the field. He was running P11, but being fair, he's not up to speed with that car at all, is he? And it's not his fault.
Maybe double stack car and blocked pit lane. Potentially.
Russell's putting on his what's the best way to put this? It's raining again.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I look up. It's like, oh yeah. It's raining again.
Gasoline signs into turn 1. This is going to get spicy. It is raining.
Oh,
it's raining.
Yeah. Another pit stop, maybe? Question mark.
Piastri fastest lap. Where was I going with this? Oh yeah, Russell's putting on his darling shoes because he was like, I was forecast for a podium. How did we mess this up? You stayed out on slick tyres in the wet. Do the maths.
A bit of a recipe for disaster there, mate.
Well, from it's raining in the pit lane. It looks dry everywhere else.
Yeah, the dry line's still obviously.
Oh,
my god.
Oh, that was Ocon and Suki?
Like Yuki, yeah.
Suki? No, that's Yuki, isn't it? I was thinking something else.
Do you know what my mum said that earlier? She went, oh, did you hear about that Zuki Tsunoda? Who?
Well, I tried to say Tsunoda and Yuki at the same time.
That must have been where my mum's brain went as well.
Because
I was like, who's Zuki?
That is the question. K-Mag running P7 at the moment. That's a heck of a good showing. And we've got Albon's made his way back into the top 10.
Quite a good showing for Zhou as well.
Piastri has pitted.
Oh. What tyres will he come out on?
Yellow flag sector 2.
Oh, what's that for?
So he's pitted for more softs?
Another set of softs.
Huh?
Huh? Oh!
Guess who?
Sergeant.
Yeah.
He's facing the wrong way.
Safety car, people. Safety car. Whoop.
He's not having a very good weekend, is he?
Nope. Can anyone else say career-ending crash?
Potentially. Mercedes should gamble strategy, nothing to lose. Yeah, I mean, it's a safety car. Best time to do it if they're going to do it now.
There's nothing to gamble. I mean, there's no change in condition. It's raining and it's not raining, but is it? Is there anything to gamble here?
Don't know. Maybe going long on the mediums. Maybe.
Mara says Horner calls the safety car, not you.
Yeah.
To be fair, I was right on this one. It says safety car. Well, okay. If anything, it's going to bunch the field back up together. It means what we kind of wanted.
True. Right.
So
what happened to Sergeant?
Yeah. Easy.
Ooh.
Just ran wide onto the damp part of the track and whoop!
I might have done that in the pre-GP. So.
Well, so what you're saying is you're at least at the grade of Sergeant. So you should be in F1.
Yeah! No, on the game especially, if you get on that curb, you're on rails, you're just going straight, and he must have just clipped a wet patch and just sent him round.
I found that bit too. Oh, Pierre penalty? Yeah, that's right. Pierre penalty, Gasly, what for?
5 seconds.
Was just looking, speeding in the pit lane for Gasly, it's fine. You can see Sargent's upset there. I think he knows that might be the end of his career. It's no offense to him, he's not been terrible, but he has not been good either.
He's not been terrible.
He's not been good though,
but he's not been like Latifi level. He's been a bit better than that.
Still not good enough.
No. Especially, I suppose it's that thing, when you compare the two drivers, it's always one's going to come short.
Yes.
And unfortunately this year, obviously, he's a rookie at the end of the day. This is his rookie year, but when you think about the other rookies, like Piastri, yeah, you can't really...
Lawson's still in it. She says Grand Prix.
Exactly.
And Pedro has hit the nail on the head there. I'll let you read that one out.
Yeah, Toto making so much effort to put Mick at Williams. Maybe that's his ticket right there. That crash.
Albon still hasn't pitted.
Damn. Go on, Albon.
Okay, right, the next rain session is about 35 minutes away.
Russell on the hard tyres? What?
It's Mercedes. They're clearly taking cues from Ferrari.
Mick should be in F1, I agree, Mario. I think he should. I don't think he was right at Haas, but maybe at Williams. Maybe that natural progression from Williams. And then to either McLaren or Mercedes would be good for him.
Got a question for you, Sarah. Who is a natural parallel, driver-wise, for Mick Schumacher, who's currently in the field? Tell me who you think, and I'll tell you who I think.
Parallel? What do you mean by that? Like...
an analogy for him, like, same mentality, exclude skill, mentality, who is a lot like him. Sort of personality and experience-wise. You can have a think if you like, but I've got a very good reason in my head why I've asked the question.
I'm gonna go Piastri.
Any particular reason?
They've both kind of got that. I guess it's like golden retriever energy, where they're where they're kind of like they're not necessarily their personalities aren't like they don't have to be out there with their personalities. They're just there to race,
Yeah, I like
get
that.
the job done.
I like that. Yeah, I like your thinking.
It's not. He's not like a Max Verstappen or like
No,
one of
he's
the other
not like
ones where
his
their
dad, is he?
personality,
He's not like
yeah,
his
where
dad
his
at all.
no, where his personality isn't like at the forefront. It's more of his driving skill and driving that's at the forefront, and he's just kind of there chilling.
Yeah,
So that's why I compared the two.
I like your
Maybe
thinking.
experience-wise, Piastri obviously pips him a little bit more currently.
Yeah.
I don't know. The personalities is what kind of got me on that analogy.
Well, I get your thinking. I'm going to agree with Pedro though. Albon. Two drivers completely defeated by a previous team.
Yeah.
Haas for Mick, Red Bull for Albon, who have the potential to be literally, as you can see, Albon here, reborn at Williams.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I think it would be really good if Albon and Mick worked together in Williams. I reckon they could help each other out.
I think they're friends as well, aren't they?
Yeah. I mean, who wouldn't want to be friends with Mick Schumacher? At the end of the day. Seems quite nice.
Coulthard Jr.
No, but he's quite nice.
Yeah, Mick is lovely. Mick is lovely. It's really weird to think of that, and you think of Michael, who was he could be a bit of a bastard sometimes.
No, I agree that Mick and Albon are the same. I just went with kind of like Piastri because
I like you thinking.
no, it's not about their personality. Like, if anything, they're the two shy ones of the Formula One grid.
Yeah.
Like, they're not big talkers.
I do like how Albon has progressed though, because when he was in Red Bull, he was very meek, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Now it's just, I'm just here.
I like that. Like every team is wanting to talk with Albon, and Albon's just like, nope.
I know, that is great, isn't it? That is really good to see. It's like, no, I'm not interested. So, would you like to come back to Red Bull? No!
No.
Yeah. When this season started, if you just said Albon talking to Ferrari, I would have laughed you away.
No.
Now, it's like, I would like, don't go to Ferrari. That's a silly mistake, actually, because that's probably on the same level, irritation-wise, as Red Bull.
Yeah.
Where would you go if you were Albon?
Ooh.
I mean, let's face it. Williams doesn't have the facilities at the moment. It just doesn't have that facility, so it's doing well.
No.
Where would you go? McLaren's sealed up and signed for the next 10, 15 years with Norris and Piastri. Ferrari is almost the same as Red Bull. Oh, I've got it.
Maybe Aston or Audi when it comes in.
Those two, or if Hamilton retires.
Yeah. But I think if Hamilton retires, I reckon someone else would take that place.
Like a big driver, or... But would it be one of those things? Would Russell take over that slot, like the number one driver? Or would they bring someone else in? I'm not saying Alonso, but someone that sort of wide shoulders kind of person.
Good question. I don't know. I think Russell would want that, like him to just kind of adopt the first driver.
But is he that kind of person?
I don't know. Russell's a bit like, I didn't like his attitude at the start when he went to Mercedes. He kind of went in there and like, yeah, I'm like George Russell and like.
There's a
I
quote.
wanted him to calm down a little bit, but he seems to have kind of like mellowed out now. But
Hawky thoughts on George Russell.
no, but you got to admit his
I do.
attitude right at the start was a bit shit. Now that it's kind of calmed down, he's kind of just he's trying to get the most performance out of that car. He's kind of calmed down a little bit, but I don't know. I think he would go for the first driver option, and then I think they'd probably bring someone in, maybe with Don't know. It could be Albon. Could be Mick in a few years' time.
Mick at Mercedes?
I reckon further down the line, if he goes at Williams,
He does need a
natural
couple
progression.
he needs a couple of years in another team though, doesn't he? Same as
Oh,
Russ.
100%.
I do think the time at Williams really did Russell well. I mean, clearly it does seem that putting drivers that need to better themselves into Williams seems to work. It was getting ready to go after the safety car. That was a long safety car.
And I agree with you, Pedro, that that's the word I was looking for, arrogant. Like, George got a lot more arrogant when he went to Mercedes. And it was...
Right.
I don't know.
Okay, Max is back in the pack up. He's just going to bolt before he gets to the final corner. Can Perez get into P1 for the first corner? No. Does anyone have any faith in Perez for this one? So we might be seeing some passing. I think Gasly was on the back of Alonso. No, sorry, it was Sainz on the back of Gasly. Joe's the only one in the top 12 who's gone to mediums.
I'm back.
I thought you disappeared for a second there.
And me internet just decided to...
Yeah, I thought you were a bit quiet.
Yeah, it decided to... itself.
Yeah, that's about right. You haven't missed much. There's been no passes, as far as I can tell. All of the top 14 bar Joe are running on softs. And then after it's all mediums and then Russell on halves. Because Mercedes.
Because Mercedes.
Yeah, Max has already gone, hasn't he? Basically. So you can see through that first corner, they can take very, very different lines. I like that in a track in a corner. I mean, turn 1 and turn 3, you can take very different approaches. So...
Oh, 100%. It seems like, confidence-wise, a few drivers are taking different lines. Some are just following the same line. I like that Alonso goes slightly lower, and you can kind of...
Albon on K-Mag. Oh, there was a bit of a touch there.
A little bit.
K-Mag did move in braking and touched Albon's front left. The problem is you don't try and overtake K-Mag without being clear on the straight. Apparently I have an echo. Echo.
Maybe, hopefully they're sorted now.
Okay, we still have Hamilton with the fastest lap at the moment. How's Zhou still in P6? Either way, it's his best race of his career so far, I would say.
Oh, 100%. He's doing quite well, just chilling there. Indeed, yes indeed. Hamilton with the fastest lap, but still chilling in P13.
He'll go crying to his millions of pounds later on after this.
Yep.
So, okay. Albon has got K-Mag and Ocon somewhere. He's now on the back of Zhou.
When did that happen?
How is Albon doing this on the oldest tyres on there? Okay, so this...
The tyre whisperer. Remember what he did in Australia?
Yeah. Okay, this is the Ocon. Is he going to take out K-Mag and then Albon's going to... No, Albon's already down the... Oh, right. Just straight around the outside of K-Mag.
Yeah, that was Ocon on K-Mag.
That was good.
Hmm.
And then that was Albon on K-Mag earlier on, so...
Yeah, down the inside. Good move.
Hang on.
Two different moves, I think.
I'm sure Ocon was ahead of a lot of them. Turn 1 incident involving Albon and K-Mag noted. Ooh, that McLaren's skittering around. That's Piastri.
Good to hear the audio's all good. For some reason my laptop decides to change the audio halfway through.
Mm.
But after my uni's finished, improvements hopefully to be made. I have more time to sort out. Camber helps with outside moves, yeah.
It really does, and that is one of the things I really like about this course. It is the cambered corners, but there is I happen to know the FIA mandate, apart from traditional courses like Zandvoort, a maximum incline and decline on the circuit. So you can't really get it in modern circuits.
Mm-hmm.
And that's probably a reflex action from the mentioned 2005 USA Grand Prix, where that camber screwed the Michelin tyres.
Yeah. You also got to think about the cars as well. Like they probably don't like being at such an angle.
They do not.
Either.
They do not. And more than anything, it's for safety in the tyres. As is that? Yeah, that was
That's
Hamilton on Leclerc.
Mm.
Yeah, Leclerc is not enjoying that Ferrari this year, is he?
No.
And now that is Piastri on Leclerc. Soon followed by Bottas on Leclerc. Black and white flag for K-Mag, moving under braking. Yeah, we called that. So what is going on with Leclerc? He's just not happy. I mean, his teammate's running in P5. This is an awful race from Leclerc.
Do you reckon he still has some gravel, maybe?
Could be.
Stuck in that car?
Could be floor damage. And as Mary says, loving the ballsy moves.
Yeah, it's good to see.
Sterling Moss. Do you know this quote, Sarah? When Sterling Moss asked James Hunt how he goes so fast.
Oh yeah.
Big balls.
Yeah.
And then you see Sterling go, didn't expect that.
Yeah.
Okay, Ocon has got Zhou somewhere, and Sonoda, Zuki, as we're now going to call him, has got K-Mag.
Mm-hmm.
I like that, Zuki.
Zuki.
Let's just keep that. If you were to call Driver of the Day now...
Ooh. Driver of the Day now?
Now. Alright, for the first third-ish of the race.
I got it.
On three. On three.
Right.
On
Right.
three. 1, 2, 3. Albon.
Albon.
Yeah. Couldn't be anyone else, could it?
No. He's still on that set of softs. He risked it all. A few good moves. So yeah, he didn't. Yeah,
Albon.
me, driver of the
Soft
day so
tyres. At the start. In the wet. In the dry.
Yeah.
How many times did you pit? None.
None.
Technically speaking... Oh, I've just thought of a loophole. He doesn't ever have to pit. It's been declared a wet race.
Oh.
Technically, if he can get those tyres the entire race, he doesn't have to pit.
Oh.
Sorry, and we've missed a move of Lando on K-Mag somewhere, because I was thinking about Albon and his pit strategy.
I don't think those softs are going to last that long.
It's Albon. They'll last to Belgium if they have to.
True.
Albon 72 laps on softs. If anyone can do it,
You can do it.
Albon can. And he'll do it and chase down signs. Okay, Max has picked up the fastest lap. Shocker.
Shocker.
Just look like that aerodynamic penalty that they incurred for breaking the 2021 rule set cost cap. Let's face it.
Did absolutely nothing.
Although, kudos to Alonso, who's still with Perez.
Yep.
And that hasn't been anywhere for the last 3 or 4 races.
Gasly's not too far behind either.
Yeah. So Alonso's being chased by his former car. Russell still down in P17, only ahead of Stroll and Lawson. And again, Stroll and Alonso separated by 15 places.
Yep.
Right.
Have you seen apparently Stroll's new career move?
Oh, tennis?
Yeah.
Yeah, where did that come from? I heard a reference to it. And the
rumours that he's going to go off and play tennis.
He hasn't got the wrists for it, has he?
Don't know.
He broke them all this year, didn't he?
Yeah. I think the big losers of this race so far has got to be the McLarens.
They're coming back though. I mean, they're up to P10,
They're coming
12.
back now.
But yeah,
considering where they both started and the call come in, not to come in.
Yeah, they're definitely losing out now. Wow, that wide shot really does make this place look like a golf course, doesn't it?
Yeah. Imagine that, just like, imagine if it was a golf course, and then you could just get a little golf ball flying past the cars.
Where I used to work, there was loads of aisles, and occasionally you'd see a golf ball go dong, down past one end of them. What the hell was that?
Huh? Yeah.
As it was people throwing golf balls from reception down to the tills. Because it would be hard flooring, it would just bounce forever. And
Yeah.
occasionally, dong! There's a golf ball around here somewhere. Oh, I didn't take part in that at all. I don't work there anymore, doesn't matter.
Face right now.
Yeah, I don't work there anymore, doesn't matter. Oh, Verstappen's doing his impression of a weatherman. He says that there's darker clouds coming in.
Wait.
Oh, that would be good, wouldn't it, if it rained again?
If Aston actually dropped Lance, it could be an opportunity for Albon to step in. Him and Alonso could be a really good driver lineup. Or they could put Yuki in there due to Honda influence.
I'd rather Albon, wouldn't I?
Yeah.
So,
But then would what's his name?
Danny?
No, I'm trying to. Lawrence in it is Stroll's dad's name.
Mm-hmm.
Or
Yes, Lawrence Stroll.
Stroll dad.
Satan is another term for his name.
Would he still? Do you reckon he'd step away if his son stepped away, or has he got too much at stake?
Financially, I think he's too invested to leave it. Unless he would just flat out sell up.
Yeah.
But Stroll's... How old is Stroll now? 23, 24? Surely he's too old to switch career into tennis. I think that is... Yeah. But... Oh yeah, Drogovic.
I don't know how old Stroll is. I think he's a bit older than that, isn't he? He's like 25, 26, isn't he? Or am I thinking that?
I know he was 17-ish when he was in Williams, which would have been about 2018. So he must be 24, 25.
Yeah, no, I agree, Pedro.
Hamilton on the back of Zhou, so this is for the final points paying position. So Zhou on the medium tyres is falling back through the grid now. But I still think it's a cracking drive from Zhou, but that Alfa Romeo is a dog.
Yeah.
It really is. And where all these cars start together at the safety car, he was never more than 10 laps from being out of the points, really.
24.
Okay, Stroll. Okay, so now it looks like Piastri is following Hamilton through the pack. And Hamilton is following Norris through the pack also. So now we have Norris on the back of Zuki. Albon's fallen away from Sainz, so that push has stopped, but P6 for Williams is more than respectable, frankly.
Saying that, if we didn't have the earlier weather conditions, I reckon he'd still kind of be up, maybe 4th or 5th.
If he and Norris and Russell had pitted for Inters a lap earlier, or 2 laps earlier, they'd still be at the front. Maybe not Russell, but because Mercedes seem incapable of making a competent decision when it comes to weather. I mean, Lawson's running at the back, but I think it's fairly respectable. He's only half a second off Russell and Stroll. First race, dropped in it with only 1 practice session.
Yeah, and he's not out compared to Sargent.
Who's sitting in the on one of the hills crying somewhere, I'm afraid.
Probably. Gasly's doing a great job. The Alpine looked uncompetitive all weekend long. Yeah, I was thinking of that looking at quali highlights. Didn't look amazing, but doing alright so far.
You got to say, it is actually a very good job from Gasly. Now Alonso is falling back from Perez.
Yeah.
That Aston just doesn't look after its tyres in the same way as the Red Bull does. Okay, so Norris is still trying to pass Tsunoda. Now he has Hamilton on the back of him. Norris has to get Tsunoda quickly. Yeah, and especially says Lawson only had FP3 to get used to the car. And this is not an easy track. In not easy conditions. In a not easy car. Because there's Piastri on Zhou, taking the wide line into turn 1. Looked easy, really.
Yeah.
Stroll has pitted for soft tyres. Okay. Russell's got Bottas somewhere. Leclerc's...
I think this is the most we've seen of soft tyres this year.
Yeah. And Leclerc has been passed by Russell on hard tyres. There has got to be some significant damage to that Ferrari. There's no way it should be slower than a Mercedes on hard tyres or, heck, a Haas. K-Mag's pitted as well, so we're in for another round of pit stops, it looks like. What would you do if you were Leclerc at this point?
Cry.
I was going to say retire the car, but that's another option.
I don't know, yeah. If he's that far away from points and he doesn't feel he can get into the points again, I would retire the car, save the components. Check if there's actually anything wrong with the car to start off with.
Yeah, I mean, if he's carrying floor damage, was it about 40% or 60? It's 40 or 60% of the aerodynamics is now carried by the floor of these cars because of the I forgot what it's called, ground effect. Because of the ground effect of the aerodynamics. So yeah, I mean, he's lost 2 seconds to Russell already. I mean, Leclerc's going to get passed by Bottas at this point.
Probably.
And Bottas has the racecraft of a damp rag at sometimes. He seems to be better at taking pictures with no clothes on than he does racing. And he does that. So, I mean, he does it so often now, doesn't he? Ugh. Stop it. Stop releasing these pictures on Instagram. Please.
Did you see his recent
No.
activity? No, he did a cycling race or something dressed as a Simpsons character.
Did he?
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Can't remember his name. I think it's the big. What's his name? I can't remember. It's the one character I can't remember.
Barney.
No, is it Duff Beer?
Duff Man.
Like, yeah, that one. Yeah, he was dressed up as that, and he had like props of the beer around.
That's pretty funny. I approve of that.
Duff Man, that's what I was looking for. I couldn't remember if it was Duff Man or if it was just like something else.
It's Duff Man. Okay, Joe's coming. He's getting rid of those medium tyres because they haven't done him well. He's going to have to go to softs. Yeah, that's fair. Bottas is 1/10 behind Leclerc. Bottas is in front of Leclerc. Oh dear. That's poor.
That's a bit.
That is incredibly poor. I mean, look at that. He just drove clean around the outside of Leclerc. Retire the car, Ferrari, please. Put him out of his misery. I mean, he's already dead. Stop it. It's that kind of... It's more Simpsons jokes, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, I just thought of a meme. Duff Man beating Leclerc.
Stop, he's already dead.
I'm going to find that picture later. Okay, so Norris is bottled up behind Tsunoda still, who has now got Hamilton for company, and Piastri not far behind. And we are now looking at the sky.
That was brighter than my future.
Oh. Now, will Norris get Tsunoda or Hamilton get Norris first?
Thanks, Jack. Yes.
Okay. Okay, so that pit stop has ruined Joe's race from the looks of it, unless he's going to try and go to the end.
Lawson. Look at Lawson on Leclerc.
Sainz is it's saying he's only got 10 laps left in the tyres and there's 32 to the end. By my maths, those tyres won't make it.
Really?
But this is Ferrari, you see.
Mm-hmm.
If you just look at the screen, Sarah, tell me who's in the shot in front of you.
Lawson on Leclerc.
Yeah.
That's what I said. I just literally just said to you. I was like, look at Lawson on Leclerc.
Oh,
Like,
sorry, I completely missed it. I was probably looking
I
at.
was just, I was a standoff. Like, what? Although obviously Lawson is carrying that 10-second penalty for still we don't know what. Um,
Impeding.
yeah. Obviously it was enough for the stewards to slap a 10-second penalty on him for.
Oh, he's going for it.
Oh, go on, Lawson, go for it.
Do it.
Nothing
Do
to
it.
lose.
Do it. Do it. He's got DRS. Don't smeg it up. Just don't smeg it up.
Do it. Do the roar.
Rar.
Ferrari.
Ferrari.
At least he can say overtaken a Ferrari. Tick.
Multiple race winner.
Yeah.
Ferrari, please retire the damn car. He's coming back at Lawson, but he's got DRS, so that's to be expected. I mean, that AlphaTauri looks so slow in a straight line.
Yeah. Especially without the DRS.
There could also be a little bit of Lawson's rookie nature showing through. I would imagine he's deployed all of his battery earlier in the lap and had nothing left to defend with.
Yeah, maybe.
So, it's a good, if anything, it's a good learning experience for Lawson. I mean,
100%.
we can see how slow that Ferrari is. So, yeah.
Do we reckon this is not the last time we'll see Lawson in that AlphaTauri seat? Because apparently
He'd be there
they
in
don't
Monza.
think. Yeah, as I'm saying, they don't think Danny will be back until Singapore.
Yeah, they've already said he's driving in Monza.
No.
Danny's going for surgery in Barcelona today, I think it is.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, quite why he needs. I mean, he must have really badly broken it, and Pedro might be able to shed
I
a
think
bit of
it was the same surgeon that did Lance's
wrist.
surgery in his wrists. I think obviously it speeds up the recovery a little bit. And then obviously he'll go into like physiotherapy and get the strength back up in the wrist.
So I don't know. Yeah, okay. Now they retire the Ferrari. Okay. Right. So I don't know about you, but when it comes to a broken bone, I mean, generally, I thought the best methodology was to splint it and/or immobilize it, rather than cause more trauma by going in and operating unless you absolutely have to. But
That used to be the way.
Yeah.
But, knowing me, and I had a long-term leg injury, and they used to always put me in casts, like always. And it didn't help because it would immobilize my leg for like a good 6 weeks at a time. You couldn't use it, you couldn't stretch it, you couldn't bend it. So when you come out of the cast, your leg feels so weak, and like you've lost so much muscle in that one leg that you're having to put a lot of pressure on your other leg. And I think they've slightly tweaked it with, especially the thing I had, is that they don't like to immobilize injuries too long for that reason. So it's all about getting the physical therapy, they say, of like getting it moving so you don't lose the muscle. Because obviously it's then harder to put the muscle back on in that certain part of the body where you've broken a bone. So it's all about maybe for the first few weeks, yeah, immobilize it, or don't immobilize it completely, but have it rested up, as they say, and then obviously get into physical therapy to then move the hand around so you don't lose any muscle.
Okay, so
or leg.
So short term, more trauma,
yeah.
long term, faster recovery.
Yeah, exactly. Because
Okay.
you think, especially in his way, if he loses a lot of muscle in that wrist, there's going to be a discrepancy in his like steering and like the amount of power he can put in that car. So if he can hold on to the strength that he's got and just go for a little bit of pain, just trying to get it back into race ready, then I think long term, as we can see with Lance, like long term it will work out.
Yeah. I wonder if it will be a surgery where he's general anaesthetic or local. No, never mind. Anyway, that's neither here nor there.
Depends on where the injury was as well. If it's closer to the head or the neck of the bone, it might compromise the tendons/nerves there. Should take 6 to 8 weeks to fully recover, but the more experienced team of doctors behind him, it should reduce the recovery time. Yeah. I think that from when I used to injure myself quite a lot, I think they definitely have changed where they don't tend to immobilise it for so long. Obviously, for a few weeks, yeah,
Oh, sorry, Albon's
it's
pitting.
necessary.
The man of the race is pitting.
Damn, what's he going on to? Dun, dun, dun.
It's got to be medium. It might be if he goes to softs again. Mediums. It's probably all he had, to be fair.
Yeah.
Oh, Hamilton on Suki. Nope.
Nope. Nope.
Nope. During all of that, we had Norris pit as well, so he's fallen away from this lot. So he's done his final stop for the race, set the fastest lap. So he's going to be trying to undercut Tsunoda and Hamilton to get out in front of them and eventually be in sort of relative P6 or 7. Perez is told to box, but there's no point giving him the priority slot now. Oh, there's a dark cloud.
Oh.
Sorry.
I am.
Oh, I thought Perez had just missed his grid slot. I thought they were showing us the front tyre, they were showing us the back tyre. He went whoop, straight past it. So, yeah, he's not going to undercut Max by 8 seconds. Well, I bet they'll tell him, we gave you priority for the second stop. Not the one that mattered.
Yeah, not the one that really mattered at the end of the day.
Yeah. Hamilton's in pit, so he's going to try and undercut Tsunoda as well.
What's he going on to? Another set of softs.
Yeah. Sorry, you won't remember this, but in the late 90s, early 2000s, the McLaren boys in the grids, in the pits, had what basically looked like a Darth Vader helmet.
Oh, yeah.
And it genuinely looked like you were going in to see some, the dark side at some point. And considering that team was run by Ron Dennis, that was kind of accurate. Okay, Ocon on the back of Zhou, I think. No,
the theme tune as he comes into the pits. Da, 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 da.
To be fair, I think you just need to play that around Lance Stroll now.
Yeah, whenever you see him in the paddock.
Lawrence.
Yeah.
Got me doing it now. Okay, Gasly's pitted now. Oh! Did Gasly have a penalty for something? Speeding in a pit lane.
Ah, yes. We both went. Huh?
There's been a lot.
What do you mean?
Despite there being little on-track action for the top positions, there's been a lot going on again.
Yeah, 100%.
Indeed.
Russell seems to have worked his way back up, but I suppose everyone pitting around him, he's on the hard tyres, doesn't have to.
Yeah. Oh, this could end nastily. Russell, you're on hard tyres. Gasly's on fresh soft. You're not getting through there.
That's a no.
I mean, logic dictates, doesn't it?
Mhm.
I mean, the only thing that's going to happen for Russell is if he has a bit of luck with another safety car, he then gets to pit for softer tyres. Like goal hanging at the moment. So where has Norris wound up? He is P11, 2 ahead of Hamilton. So he's gapped Hamilton by 3 or 4 seconds. Tsunoda still hasn't pitted, so he's goal hanging. Albon's back up to P8. Being fair, he's waiting for Tsunoda to pit.
Yeah, he might even be able to take Russell.
I think he will,
Potentially, yeah.
Much fresher mediums.
Hulk and Ocon, they're a bit in the middle of no man's land at the moment. Saying that, Hulk just got overtaken by Norris.
Poor timing.
Poor timing.
Bottas is back in the pits again.
He is.
That's odd. And unfortunately, yeah, you can see Joey, he's just fallen to 14th. What was he running?
Yeah.
4th at one point?
I believe so. 4th or 5th, yeah.
Yeah.
Doing alright.
Alonso's in the
Just
pit.
that Alpha. It's a bit.
Yeah.
Ugh.
When Leclerc was in it, it was actually a very good car. But ever since then, it's been progressively getting worse.
Slow stop for Alonso.
Couldn't get the tyre off. At least Gasly, who was running behind him, had a 5-second penalty, so they should end up roughly about the same.
Sainz just took him though.
Yeah, I think. Oh no, Sainz has pitted. I think Sainz has had his pit stop.
Oh.
Okay. But that's bad. He's come up behind Tsunoda. And there we see the Norris on the Haas. I can't tell which driver that is from the helmet anymore.
No. It's gonna be Hulk.
Piastri
on...
Joe?
Maybe?
It's not going to be Bottas. He was at the back.
No.
Okay, here comes Max finally. Pit stops. Free. Albon, 1. Free. It's like they've put a moratorium, a banning on him having fresh tyres. It's like, you're not allowed any. We haven't got any budget. You get new aero pieces or tyres. New aero pieces it is.
Well, potentially from next year or a few years' time, the amount of softs they're going to have is going to go down anyway.
They keep changing the tyre rules. I've stopped paying attention.
It's like 1 year it's this, 1 year it's that. No one knows.
Yeah. I literally stopped paying attention to that. Okay,
Did you do for Yuki at the moment? Pit or goal hung? Going to become the bottleneck in a minute when everyone's trying to get past him.
If he can hold everyone up, goal hang.
Yeah.
Nope.
Oh.
Bad timing.
Bad timing.
Commentators curse. At this point, Pit.
Yeah.
Looks like those tyres are dead.
Yeah, that literally just showed it.
So Alonso's going to have to come back at signs now. He's got fresher tyres. He's going to have DRS. And at this track, with these cars, it does look like it's possible to pass. I mean, I wouldn't ask Norris that on Tsunoda, but... saying it, that pit stop seemed to have royally boned Norris, because he's fallen right away now.
He has, yeah.
So we've got Russell who hasn't pitted, Tsunoda who hasn't pitted. Albon never needs to pit.
Nope. Don't know about Ocon though, if he needs to pit again or not. He's just kind of been there.
Yeah, he has a habit of doing that, just existing.
Yuki is on a 40 lap old set of soft tyres.
And that's taking the mick even for Albon.
Yeah. Jesus.
Pit. I was going to be very rude about Tsunoda earlier on, saying I'm not sure he deserves his place in Formula 1, but he's making an argument for it. I don't think many other drivers have been given 2 full years in the Red Bull home.
Yeah, they obviously see something in him.
Yeah. And there goes Alonso into P3, into the podium position. Yeah, not many other drivers have been given 2 full years of crashing and undelivering and, missed promises and all that than Tsunoda. Russell's got him now as well, so he's falling away. Yeah, he's definitely been given a lot more leniency than a lot of drivers. So here comes Alonso. We're going to see the replay of Russell on Yuki. Clean around the outside. Okay, Yuki's just lost part of his front wing.
Oh, that was close.
That was a bit dim. And now, there you go, Albon's got him too.
Yeah, he needs to come in this lap.
Yeah. Oh, no, he hasn't. Oh, they've both got DRS heading into that funny little chicane. These tyres look like they're in good condition, though. Just probably...
Not too bad, but...
They've lost... The grip has gone. I don't think Yuki's going to have DRS on the back of Russell. No, he hasn't. So, Albon, boom, straight by. I'd love to see a stat of how many passes are in this race.
Yeah. Yuki's about to get swallowed up.
Yeah, he should have pitted 5 laps ago.
Ocon and Norris.
He's taking very wide lines in order to minimise any degradation to the tyre, but he's just got no grip. And
That's close.
I know, right?
Ocon's going to go right into the back of him then.
Yeah, now he's complaining about front wing damage. We saw it on board. I mean, Gasly is on the back of Sainz virtually, so that's going to be interesting. Yeah, there's no way Yuki can do another... Those tyres are already dead. He can't do 18 more laps on them.
No. I haven't sent him in yet.
AlphaTauri. Turn 1 incidents involving Tsunoda and Russell noted. I'm getting a little bit fed up of all these constant notings.
Yeah. It's either you're going to do something about it, you're not going to do anything about it. So make your mind up. Gasly's on fresher softs and Carlos as well. Ooh.
We know that Ferrari's not great on tyres.
No. Car's okay, the tyres aren't AlphaTauri.
Yeah.
Tyres aren't okay. Pit him.
Yeah, Norris had a bit of a swapper coming on out of the corner, and now he's got Hamilton on his back.
Whoa! That was close.
So,
I looked like they were going to interlock wheels then. Jesus Christ.
These two don't have any previous with incidents, so that would have been a first.
Yeah.
But
Battle of the Brits.
Yeah. For P10.
For P10, yeah.
Okay, now that DRS is powerful around here, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Hamilton following him through.
Oh.
That was cheeky.
That was.
That was great from the pair of them.
I'm back after BTCC race 2. What happened to Leclerc? Fell off, like, pace, and something has got to be wrong with that Ferrari because it was just getting slower and slower.
He was passed by Lawson.
The car. Yeah, he was passed by Lawson.
And that was the final straw.
Also, what happened in the BTCC race? Because I missed that. I watched the first one earlier, and I'm gonna watch obviously the last one. What happened?
Leclerc did have floor damage. Thank you, Pedro.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we wouldn't say it's got
Called
to be something. I hope someone picks up that phone.
Yes, I called it.
Amazing dry race too. Good to hear. I watched the earlier one. It was kind of like this. It was kind of like damp with a little bit.
Albon
of rain.
on Russell.
Damn.
Nice.
Come on, Williams.
Uh-huh. 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 And
Actually, I
Norris...
got.
Oh, Hamilton's got Norris.
Oh,
It's,
Tom got Sutton. Damn.
mm. So here is Hamilton on Russell. Oh, he does cut in a bit, doesn't he, Hamilton?
Yeah. Oh.
I suppose it looked a lot worse than it was from the other angle.
Oh.
Does look like rain's coming, and there's a big red patch on that.
Oof. That looks a little bit more detailed than the GT7 radar.
And it does.
Good scrap between them and Hill. Third race gonna be great. Yeah, it looks like. Well, it sounds like it's gonna be a good third race. Make sure to catch it.
Gasly is literally on the back of Sainz. So that can't be too much longer.
How was the Mini and the Porsche race? To the Mini and the Porsche that were in between? I'm not sure.
Yeah, let's have rain again. I want to see that. Hamilton's on the back of Ocon now. Norris has just fallen away from Hamilton. So Hamilton's got some pace in that car. He's just not been able to use it.
Yeah.
He's been behind someone all race, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Literally all race.
$15 laps to go.
Come on, last 5 laps in the wet. Let's have it that way.
Last minute dash to the
I was gonna say,
line.
I was going to say send a prayer to Poseidon, but that's the one of the sea. Who's the god of the sky in the weather? I don't know. So Hamilton's on the back of Ocon. Gasly is on the back of Sainz. He's
Oh.
That was a bit rude.
Yeah. Just run out of road.
That was a bit rude.
He closed that door. He was like, nope.
Thank you, Pedro. That's a good bit of GT7 info. Sounds like they've limited the game because of the net issues that we all know that they've had as Hamilton gets past Ocon.
Ocon, yeah. Looks quite easy. At any moment, I think Russell's gonna Hamilton's gonna overtake Russell as well.
Yeah. He should just let him through in all reality. Then Hamilton gets to chase after Albon, doesn't he? Who is also chasing after Gasly and Sainz.
Say rain's 2 minutes away.
I hope so. $120. That is 2 minutes. Okay, I say it's going to be 1/5 of 10 minutes away. Oh, Russell!
My God.
How he held that.
Damn.
Did you see that?
Yeah.
Sideways.
I just caught the end of that. I was like, oh.
Yeah. Russell. He doesn't want Hamilton past him. There he goes. No, that was sensible, Russell. I bet that scared the crap out of him. Much heavier rain. Gasly's got signs. That was a good move.
Very good move.
3 drivers of the day. Will you agree with me? Obviously Max, Gasly and Albon.
Yeah, I'd back that. Yeah, just I was scanning the rest of the list just to make sure if there wasn't anybody else.
Do you think Hamilton get up to 5th? Get Albon...
Maybe he seems to have unlocked some pace in that car.
Yeah. I was just trying to remember who was in front of him. Signs. Enters! That was early!
Huh?
Okay, cool. They're all in. Nobody's going down the pit straight.
Oh, God,
Mercedes double stack. I'm not sure that went very well for Russell, but it's better than being out there.
It's all go. Jesus Christ.
Max and Alonso and Albon are still out there.
That went from 0 to 100 again. Like, it was like, whoa.
Dry. Boof. What?
Yeah.
No, where is Max? Show us Max. There's Max. He's got round.
1 minute it was dry. They look away for 1 minute. Put the
I didn't
camera
even
back
look
on
away.
the track. It's like, oh.
I didn't even look away.
Yeah.
Has anyone gone to wets?
No.
Okay, as long as Alonso and Albon don't make the mistake they made earlier on and trying to continue on dries again.
Albon is still in the medium, so is Ocon.
He hasn't got round yet. Alonso's in.
Oh.
Is anyone going to try and pit for wets? DRS disabled. Logical.
Ocon and Albon are in.
Good. But I imagine that Albon's lost a few places through that. Because where it fell, it must have been right after he passed the pits.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's dropped about 10th. I mean, there's Russell. No, he's in 8th. He's dropped a couple of positions. That's not too bad. I mean, that's unlucky more than anything. But you can see...
I think that definitely played into Yuki's hands.
Goal hanging does work. Although he's now 12th. Ocon went to wets. Okay. I mean, he's in P11. There's nothing to lose, is he? So this could be an amazing decision by Ocon. Problem is, every time they go to the wets, it has to downpour for them to be a useful tyre. And the problem with that is when that happens, you can't see anything and then they're putting out the safety car.
Yeah, or they red flag it.
Oh, he's just said it's the worst decision. Yellow flag set to
Yellow
what?
flag.
Perez has gone off. I thought it was Max.
For a minute, I thought it was Max as well. I was like...
Alonso's got through. But it is chucking it down in sector 1. So Ocon is on the right tyre for this sector. Mary said the wrong Red Bull span.
Yeah. You could tell me and Midnight both thought that was Max. We were like, oh. And then we saw his Perez. I was like, oh, that's fine.
Do you know what? Perez did exactly the right thing there. He skidded on and flicked the car around so he wasn't going head on into the barrier.
Yeah.
He did actually touch the barrier.
Ever so slightly, yeah.
Lucky sod. Okay, yeah. No, now we're in wet territory. We've got a car
My
in the
God.
barrier. We've got a safety car. Bottas. So, wet tyres, here we go. That VSC, it's going to be a full safety car. They can't move that car
Oh
without
my
a safety
God, look
car.
how wet it is.
Apparently it's
I
Zhou,
don't
not
you can barely
Bottas.
see.
It's a wet race. Yeah,
Damn.
this is the problem of Formula 1 and wet racing. As soon as it does this, the intermediates go, they give up. And then they end up in the barrier, we end up with a safety car. The drivers just never seem to cope with wet weather anymore. Not to mention the spray is a pain in the butt.
Red flag. Flag. Is that gonna be it? Oh, is that gonna be it then? We've got 8 laps left.
Perez is stuck in the pit lane.
He's not. He's probably not going to be allowed out, is he?
Well, it doesn't automatically finish now. We have a 3-hour timer. It's 2 hours for the race running, and a 3-hour timer from when the green light goes at the beginning, which would have been about 1 o'clock. So we've got an hour and a half. No, 2 o'clock. We've got about an hour and a half for them to do the final 8 laps, 7 laps, or whatever it is. So, to my knowledge, well, if it's 45 minutes worth of rain, I mean, as long as it's not all heavy rain, Mario, they could restart. But it would be a grid start. So yeah, like Norris, I would be sitting in the car waiting for a restart. The track, as Koulios alluded to earlier on, is mostly on a slant, so it will dry quickly. I mean, it will be... They never restart a race on wets. They don't seem to, anyway. It will dry out as soon as the rain stops chucking it down. Zhou didn't even slow down, did he?
He didn't have the opportunity to, I don't think.
Yeah, that's plain old aquaplaning. So Bottas went off.
Bottas.
Did Zhou go off as well?
Yeah, Zhou went off.
Oh.
Bottas might have got restarted. Like, he might have been able to get out of that.
So yeah, like you can see those tyres are just locked up. That's a horrible little accident, isn't it?
Yeah, he couldn't do much. You can't really do much in that sort of situation.
So, where was Zhou's incident?
That was Zhou's incident. He just went straight on.
Okay, Zhou did that. We just said Bottas.
That was Hamilton.
Yeah, I mean, even he's gone off on the Inters. So yeah, he's done exactly the same as the Alfa Romeo.
A lot of them went off into turn 1.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. In 2007, at the Nürburgring, similar thing. Oh, Google it. Wet weather, Nürburgring, Grand Prix, 2007. Same thing. Hamilton actually hit the back of a JCB that day. Say the words, Jules Bianchi.
Hamilton went off in the red flag.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so it wasn't Bottas. Why did it say Bottas on the screen?
And Bottas went off as well.
Okay, so they're just overlapping. Right, I'm with it now.
I think Bottas went off, Zhou went off, Hamilton went off, Perez went off.
There's going to be more in there.
Yeah.
Whereas what I absolutely hate about this, and I'm going to rant very quickly, whenever we get this heavy weather, they all jump on the intermediates, knowing full well if someone goes off, it's going to be a safety car, and they're going to get a restart and all that sort of thing. anyone who's gone onto the wets is slow immediately, and then is on the correct tyre when that weather is when they're needed, and then it's a safety car.
Yeah, and then as soon as they go into the extreme wets, it's red flag.
Yes.
It just shows you that Formula One just doesn't race in the wet. Like,
yeah. Oh, it's the one thing I hate about where they're racing is they're not prepared for it, or they just ignore.
It's like they don't want to do it.
Yeah, it's like we're going to go on the intermediates regardless if it's full wets or not, because they know full well that tyre will be quicker. Even if, as you clearly saw, half the grid, including a 7-time world champion, went skittering on at turn 1.
Mm-hmm.
We all know Ocon and Alpine made the right decision, and they're basically getting penalised for it.
Yeah.
The wet issues with F1 is related to the car's floor design for grip and suction. The moment water on a track, it doesn't Does it affect the aerodynamics? I get what you're thinking.
If you've got the water there, it becomes like an object going through the floor, doesn't it? So it probably becomes a lot more harder for the car to stick to the ground.
I'd like to know from an aerodynamicist. I mean, I know what the pair of you are getting at, but I'd like to know the percentage lost. Okay. I believe everyone. I'd like to know.
I think this
quantitatively.
This does definitely call for. I love how Logan's still. He's just chilling now.
He's got a free ticket. Watch him.
Yeah. I think this definitely does call for obviously what they want to call it, the mud flaps,
That's what I call
tyre
it.
covers, whatever they're called. If they want to race in the wet, they're gonna have to try and come up with a way to use them. Maybe have it like, obviously not all the time, but when it's wet, it's something that kind of sticks onto the car. So when they come into the pits, they change the tyres. They also put this like mud flap thing on, because I think that's the only way that Formula One will ever race in this sort of weather, is if they reduce that spray.
Absolutely. I was just thinking one thing that they.
You know what I meant, Mario. You knew what I meant.
That's what I called them yesterday in the Prix GP. To be fair, I was just kind of thinking, what could they do with the tyres? I mean, there's a couple of options. There's for argument's sake, there's the slick, there's intermediate, and then there's a wet. Right? Mm-hmm. I think you can't do much with the wet tyre for the sheer fact, if you make it a bigger window of operation, the only thing you're going to do is reduce the capacity. If you make it more like an intermediate, it will not cope with full wet conditions. Right?
Yeah.
If you make the intermediate deeper grooves, it basically makes it a wet tyre. So they'll never use the wets again anyway. I mean, they don't already. If you make it shallower, it will only cope with a little bit of rain. A little bit.
So I'm trying to find that middle ground. Obviously the wets they've got now.
Yeah.
They don't trust them, maybe? I don't know. They don't believe in them.
Yeah.
Enough.
Well, the wets are so much slower comparatively to the inters in drying conditions, as they don't want to use the wets.
So the order has already been.
Yeah, I've just copied it. Do you want to read it out?
1, 14, 11, 10, 55, 44, 4, 63, 23, 81, 31, 22,
18, 27,
18,
77,
27,
40, 20.
77, yeah. The 18 looked like 10 again for me. What?
Yeah, you got it on a smaller screen.
Yeah, I'm like, can you see?
Yeah. And as Mario said, red flag because of the damage to the barrier. And that's another gripe I've got. The Tech Pro barriers are great at reducing injuries to the drivers, which is the ultimate point. Of course, anytime anyone goes into them, they have to stop the race. Anytime.
I suppose it's if that freak thing, if it happens again and they hit that
Yeah.
again, it's less safe.
Yeah, here, absolutely. Straight on at turn 1.
Yeah.
I do think they need to revise the barriers, because every time someone has an incident, we get a stoppage. Every single time.
Yeah,
I know I'm looking back at the 90s and all that with potentially thinking far too fondly of them. But in Monaco, when they used to crash into the barriers, oink a car out of a crane, carry on. Barely a yellow flag.
Yeah.
Not that, but there needs to be a bit of movement to keep the race flowing a little bit, because we all... Wet weather, red flag, every time.
Oh, I agree. Yeah. But the race
Bail.
order is going to be the one before the pit stops. So the big losers haven't lost out too much within that.
The order is the race before the pit stops.
Mm-hmm. Bring back hay bales.
Repeat for me that again, just so my brain can take it in.
Well, Pedro said it's going to be the one before the pit stops.
What the hell?
It's not the same order we have now. It's going to be the one before the pit stops.
What the actual hell?
So what that means, Perez is still up there.
Where's P2 then?
Alonso's still up there.
Okay. Oh, so Joe's gone into the barrier. Right, yeah, we know that. I keep getting confused. It said Bottas, and my brain's still not reset. Okay. Before the driver's pitted, I'm really struggling to reconcile that decision.
Maybe they felt like because they should have called it then. I don't know. Maybe.
Well, it's all right calling things in hindsight. When we do a pre-GP, oh, I should have put it 3 laps ago. Can we reset the lobby?
Yeah. Sat in front of Perez.
Okay. So was this race a little bit controversial today?
No, yeah, some of the decisions maybe, yeah.
And the Lawson impeding penalty is one for starters.
They still haven't showed us what happened. I want to see what happened with that. Because surely 10 seconds is quite... Ooh, Perez.
That was Max, I think. Is that Max?
I've lost my internet.
Are you still with me?
Oh, I'm back.
Your camera's still up. Oh, no, you're back.
I need to refresh the stream again.
You're back with me still. Okay,
we're into pits. Red flag might have saved Perez. Can they fix it?
I mean, yeah, if he's got suspension damage from that, that's freaking lucky. And under red flag conditions, you're allowed to change the car as much as you want. Part Ferme no longer applies.
So do you reckon a lot of them will go back into the Inters?
Yes.
No.
It's not raining. I mean, again, this is the problem. As soon as we see the wet tyres, red flag, and go back out on the Inters.
What a first race it's been for Liam Lawson. He's had to deal with everything.
He's had the weirdest introduction to a Grand Prix career.
Exactly, yeah. Within that, someone gave Sargent a lift back.
Yeah, he's got back, finally. An hour and a half later.
I believe it was his first stop, Pedro. But we're not sure because we haven't actually seen what's happened.
I believe it was his first stop. Because he would have had to have served at his second stop.
Apparently, Tsunoda has a 5-second time penalty for causing a collision with Russell.
For
Somewhere
that?
within that.
For that little...
Somewhere within that. Yeah.
For that tap into turn 1, 5-second penalty for that.
Mhm.
Where Tsunoda ended up with damage and nothing else happened. They're really neutering any racing, aren't they? I mean, don't get me wrong. They shouldn't be aiming to hit each other. But Tsunoda had the damage to that, so it's cost him, not Russell. Leave it alone.
Right, so the order for the restart is one... I think it's one we got. 1:14, 11, so Perez
Is 11.
is back up into third. 10, 55, 44, 4, 63, 23, 81, 31, 22, 18, 27, 77, 40, and 20. So yeah, it's the order before the pit stops for the full wets.
Who's 14? Lonzo.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's not before the pit stops. It is
No.
just after the pit stops. Okay,
Yep.
That's more fun.
After the first one for inters, but not the ones for the wets.
Fine. Okay. That I understand. Because they do backtrack it a lap. That makes a lot more sense. Tsunoda has been ruined with these penalties. I'm still unsure about the one he got at Barcelona. I've forgotten what he got at Barcelona. Can you remind me? Do you remember, Sarah? I remember us being annoyed at it.
I don't know.
What is Gran Turismo that the movie taught you about this pit stop, Sarah? Always carry a spare.
Yeah.
And what is champagne for?
What?
And
At
what
podiums.
I'll take a beer, please. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll take a cider. I'll take a cider. How can they go back 2 laps? I don't know.
Mario, what they do is whenever there is a red flag, the order, particularly if the race ends, is taken from 2 laps previous. It's just the rules. That's been in effect for 20 or 30 years. It never doesn't crop up very often.
I saw why Lawson got the penalty and it seems very harsh. Send it to us if you can. Or tag us on Twitter and I'll have a look. So I'm still intrigued as to why he got the penalty.
I think I get it. So, what's the clear saying?
After he did a double stack and Lawson had to stay behind the mechanic, so he didn't have a lot of space to place his car in a different position. He was slightly blocking the way, but it didn't look like it was a massive block. Massive shot on the Minis BTCC. Is it bad or is it?
If someone says massive and the word shunt, I would say it's not a little tap.
Yeah, but yeah, I have to get you into BTCC and the supporting races. It's crazy.
Some good racing, I bet.
Good crazy, yeah.
Which, FYI, did anyone catch any of the FRL race that me and Floor did yesterday?
I did catch a little bit of it.
Hella racing in it.
Yeah, looked like some good passes, some good sportsmanship.
Oh yeah, you were there. Yeah, it was good. That was Gasolino, wasn't it?
Yes, in the Porsche. I like that. It was like a nice little turquoise Porsche. It was quite nice.
I should have realised you'd like that one.
Mm-hmm.
Barcelona, Yuki's penalty was going side by side with Zhou and forcing him off the track.
I exaggerated a bit. It's a roll. And
You spin me right round, baby, right round. Like
yeah,
a
those
record.
minis, it's a bit dangerous.
They do all have roll gauges, though, don't they?
Yeah.
I bet it's not pleasant, but at least it's not the most dangerous thing in the world. It's uncomfortable. Best way to describe being rolled over in a Mini.
Hopefully the driver's alright.
You still not got your internet fixed, Pedro? You were expecting that fixed like 3 days ago, or 2 days ago.
Drive around smiling. Good to hear, Mario. Good to hear. I'll make sure to catch up on the action afterwards.
Yeah.
BTCC.
Right, we're going to be 5-10 minutes or so. I might take a very quick break and come back in about 2 minutes if that's okay with you.
Yeah, no, we're good. I shall.
Cool.
Shall keep the fort.
Fantastic. If you do me a favour, just switch off the camera, and I will be right back.
If I can figure out how to do that, bear with. Takes me a while.
I won't say it.
Right, there you go.
Right, I'll be back in 2 moments.
Poly position. Yeah. I mean, I get why they do it, because it kind of brings the field together a bit more. Obviously, the ones further up the field don't have as much hybrid as the ones further down the field, so it's all about getting new winners and...
Is it BTCC by chance?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, I mean, the Napa Racing doesn't really need the hybrid at the moment. They're just flying. But I could see maybe they need to tweak it a little bit. Lost the Clio Genettas, replaced by Minis and Porsche Group 4. Yeah. I mean, I don't mind the Porsche Sprint Challenge. Prefer the Carrera. Oh, that's much more fun. But yeah, I was sad to see the Genettas go. Like, the Genettas were so full of racing action, craziness. The juniors as well, like just risking it all. It's sad to see him go. Yeah, definitely. If you're up for it, we'll meet you there. Maybe I was saying maybe we should bring you along to Brands Hatch as well for the final. It's in October, I think.
Brands Hatch Oktoberfest.
Yeah. I like Ash, Tom, Hill, so anyone winning is fine. Yeah, I mean, basically got the top three there. Anyone, any position, you'll be happy. Yeah, I don't mind them like that three as well. Obviously I like Jade, but her performance at the moment, and like she's always towards the back of the grid, so I'm a bit like, I don't know. I think she unlocks some pace in that Honda. Then maybe she can get some more points. But other than that, I like Josh Cook. I think he's alright. Trying to think of all the others now.
Just saying names I haven't got a clue about.
I'll bring you up to speed with it all.
Sounds good.
But if you like racing, like BTCC, it's a hell of a package. Like, I suppose when you go to like a Grand Prix, it's so expensive, and obviously you've got sometimes little races. BTCC, from the start of the day to the end of the day, literally race after race after race, and yeah, it's just a lot of
excuse me,
a lot of different cars going around. So it's definitely a fun day.
Sounds it.
Obviously, when you watch on the TV as well, it's literally like it starts at 11, finishes at 6, and you're just like glued to the telly. Can I go as well? If you come over, Pedro, then yeah. Great day out. I'm attending British GT at Brands too. Yeah, I love going watching stuff at Brands Hatch. So it's my second home. It's only about an hour away from me.
It's your second home.
Second home, yeah. Not first home. Second home. My brain's a bit fried now. Shouldn't be too far away from restart. Hopefully not. Best package. It's the World GT Challenge. Yeah, that's also good. American Fest weekend. Oh, did you go? How was it? I didn't go to that this year. I haven't been for a few years for the American Fest.
I need to get over there. I really do. I will be at some point, of course.
I'm sad that they got rid of the Deutsch Fest, because I would have gone to that.
Shocker.
Yeah. Well, I used to go in my dad's car. We went. I think we went for the 2 years it did it. And actually, they did it for more than 2 years, but the first year was like packed. The second year and like following years, it just got less and less busy. But I reckon now it would be busy. Porsche Festival in a few weekends. Yeah, I'm debating whether to go or not. I think I might. I'm not sure. Depends if I'm working or not.
Or was Grand Prix?
Or there's a Grand Prix, yeah. I went to Porsche Festival a few years ago. That was fun.
Which is the one you went to whilst you were still chatting on the podcast?
I think that was either a BTCC or that was Porsche Festival. I'm not sure.
Yeah, because you were still doing the podcast whilst travelling.
Yeah, I was at Brands Hatch. I was like, so, look, I'm here.
Yeah, I'm at Brands Hatch. Huh?
What?
Dedication to your craft.
Yep. Although when I got to Brands Hatch, that's where the worst internet was.
It was a bit patchy.
Oh, I think it was. Was it in 2021? Was it in last year? Because I swear it was like a. Yeah, because it was like a fight towards the end, and I missed it. It's like the last lap, my internet just conked out.
Yes, you did miss something. I can't remember for the life of me which one it was.
God damn it! I missed the final lap.
At least it wasn't like Abu Dhabi sort of bad, you know.
Yeah. No, oh yeah, probably a BTCC race.
Okay. Oh, she's cold. Is that what she's saying?
Yeah.
See this? hugging
Yeah,
the hot
hug it.
tyres. That's pretty funny.
Do do do. Come on under the conga.
No.
Petrolhead is on the 17th at Nebworth House. Where's Nebworth?
Up north
Sounds
somewhere.
close.
It's up north. If I
I
remember
don't.
correctly, it's... I don't want to say it's Lancashire north, but it's up north.
Hmm. Yeah, after I keep reverting back. After I finish uni, that's
Lots
literally
of
all I've
plans.
got to do now. Yeah, lots of plans and lots of car stuff this year, next year. Hamilton's birthplace. Oh. Stevenage. Oh yeah, been
Ah,
far
yeah, I
then.
know Stevenage.
No, it was Car Fest or something this weekend in Hampshire. That looked very expensive to go to. It's like 100 quid for a ticket, and it's like a camping car festival, and you had like Richard Hammond and Chris Evans and stuff like that go to it.
Chris Evans, Captain America.
Is it Chris Evans? It's not
There's
Chris
two
Evans,
Chris
is it?
Evans. There are two
Oh,
Chris
is it?
Evans.
I swear, I don't think I pulled that name out of
You
somewhere.
didn't.
I think
I know exactly who you meant. I went with the other one on purpose.
oh,
Just to be annoying.
confused me.
Sorry. I'm not.
And also, isn't it the Silverstone Festival this weekend as well?
Ask
Well,
Julius.
look, there was something going on at Silverstone as well. I can't remember. Busy weekend. 22 quid a ticket. Right House karting track near too. Nice. Go get go do some karting while you're looking at some cars. It's always fun. Shoot. Yeah, I haven't watched those car YouTubers. Probably should. I started watching. Was it Matt Armstrong? A few other ones. Watched the other stuff because he had a Sirocco as well. There's a few other ones that I'm starting to get into.
Verstappen's still on the wet tyres.
You guys do any lobby racing online on GT7 ACC? We do. We do. We do a lot of online lobby stuff on GT7 from time to time. ACC, Luke is commentating on a lot at the moment. If you want to get into any racing action, probably go follow. What is it? Formula
Come and
Race.
honestly just be in my Discord and check out the stream links. It's the easiest way because I'm on different places every day.
Yeah. So if you want a link to Midnight's Discord, pop over to his channel and he'll put it on there, or just join mine and then I'll send the link that way. But yeah, we did obviously an F1 race yesterday. So if you play F1 as well, or anytime you're on GT7 and we're on GT7, jump in. Good to see you. He's building the McLaren P1 got completely submerged in USA floods. Oh. I like watching Matt Armstrong for that. He takes like cars that are like basically insurance write-offs and then fix them up.
I believe they're known as Q plates. Because if you rebuild a car like that, you can get a special plate for it, which is called a Q plate. That's what it used to be, anyway. Whether it's still the thing or not, I don't know.
I have no idea.
I know not either.
So,
Come drive with us, Mario. We do occasionally
got
do some GT7 stuff.
9 minutes until the restart.
Yeah. Recently, we've ended up playing GTAs just because where there's been a lot going on for the pair of us, one way or another. We like to chill out and basically cock around. So we end up on GTA.
Yeah.
after last night and the Prix GP, I think I slept for like 11 hours. So, gone. Very quickly.
I briefly just conked out there. The internet just went, but I think I'm back. Yeah. Definitely after a race like that, sometimes it's nice to chill out. So full on.
Huh? Use of intermediate tyres is mandatory.
Obviously, they don't like using the wets then. I lost what you said, it froze. Yeah, my bad. I just said it'd be nice to see you come and race with us at some point. Like Midnight said, we do. We're not on it like every day now. We're usually on
It's
like
not.
GTA.
It's not the pandemic anymore.
Yeah, but we're on there from time to time. So if you're on there as well, then jump in. Or if you want, right, probably going forward, we'll probably make some more scheduled events. So obviously we'll let everybody know about events and stuff and when they are, what we're doing, and if you got F1 as well.
For
We always do the
me,
pre-GP.
for me at the moment, I am doing commentary on Tuesdays, which is for another three weeks, and then Thursday for another 4 or 5 weeks, something like that. So Tuesdays and Thursdays for me are booked out at the moment for at least another month. After that, I've still got Wednesdays, Fridays, and the weekends free, and possibly the odd Monday.
So normally jump in Friday and Saturday nights.
We can arrange something for a Friday night.
Yeah.
I mean, let's face it, we're not going out. I mean, as long as you're not on a Saturday morning early start for work.
As long as I'm not doing a weekend, then should be alright. No F1 for me. No, that's alright. We're on at the other games, so it's all good.
Pedro, you have a point. Maybe they've mandated the Inter so no one bothers going for slicks.
Yeah. Like Australia, everyone goes crazy at the start. Is it going to be a grid start or is it going to be a rolling start?
I don't know. I mean, if you remember back to Hungary in 21, Hamilton took the grid by himself on intermediate tyres. Grid. I wonder if we'll see something similar. All of the drivers going around and pitting for slick tyres at the end of the formation lap. I don't know what I said there either, mate. I never do. So what are we going to see happen? No, it's
rolling start.
Oh. Alright, that neuters that one. Why a rolling start?
I don't know, maybe they don't want everyone to go crazy in turn one then.
The inconsistency in rule application is what I think I hate the most. This should be a grid start.
All cars pitting at the same time will be absolutely chaos, yeah.
But last time they did this, I put up a tweet. I can't remember which race it was. I said, "Oh, I think we're about to see a 20-car, pit entry into the pits." And it turned out it was 10 because one from each team came in. One, so they had a little bit of decorum. But the weird thing is, Pedro, it doesn't seem to be standard procedure. Like at Hungary in 21, they did a grid start. That's the first one that comes to mind, anyway. I don't know why they don't go for a grid start. I mean, if you go back even further than that, back to 2020, I know it's in dry conditions, but when they were at Maranello... Is it Maranello? Not Maranello. Mugello. They had 3 grid starts. But that was chaos. Do you remember that one, Sarah?
No.
Carnage. Absolute carnage. It's one of those you have to Google. You know, they have radios. Why aren't they using them? See, look, if you look on the McLaren there, they've got blue text in some of the... Yeah, it just seems weird.
Safety reasons that drivers don't support and fans don't like.
I bet Max Verstappen supports them. Let's face it, it's going to favour him. It favours all the people retaining their positions.
Oh, 100%. Safety car for 2 laps.
Definitely neuters the challenge, though.
Should have a 6-lap dash to the finish.
5.
Oh yeah. I thought the red flag was like came out.
In my view, aftercare laps having standing start when the safety car goes in. Yes, agreed. Which is what they have done previously. I'm glad they're getting the race going again. But I really hate rolling starts. If it was still chucking it down with rain, I could understand it, but it's not. I mean, for me, the rolling start should be used as a... That is the minimum for the... minimum standard for a what would be classed as a tricky circuit. This is nothing like it was half an hour ago. Nothing like it was. I'm still surprised they mandated the intermediates rather than the intermediates and the wets. Seems strange. Don't get me wrong, I don't think it is wet enough for the wets, but the way they worded that feels strange to me. What do you think, Sarah?
I agree. You'd think it'd be the team's choices, like intermediates or wets.
Yeah.
But they've got to have either of them on. But the way they just worded it, just inters, it's almost like I said, it's almost like they don't trust the wet tyres.
Oh! I've just got what they've just done. They've let all the cars that were out of position do a lap.
Ah.
So they're now getting them in the right order. Because when the red flag came out...
Some of them are already in the pits.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly, Mario.
I mean, it is intermediate conditions out there, which is fair, but forcing them onto it just seems unnecessary. And I was thinking the same thing, Mary. A lot of those cars there had extra track time. But it's never going to be a perfect scenario, because if they don't let them do it, they're a lap down. And I know from... This is going back to the movie Rush. In the Brands Hatch Grand Prix, the British Grand Prix of that year, Hunt was crashed out on the first lap, then pulled into the pits, cutting part of the course, then won the race, But then Ferrari appealed it, and he lost the race on the decision that he didn't complete the same amount of laps. So they have to do it.
Yeah.
They can't just give him that lap. So it's an imperfect solution to an awkward problem. Tricky, isn't it?
Yeah. It's like damned if you do, damned if you don't.
Yeah, pretty much.
Thing.
It's lesser of two evils. I mean, at least they're then going to have 2 laps going around behind the safety car. So the people who have essentially unlapped or put themselves in the right position have only had 1 extra lap, which then puts them on the correct lap. So, yeah.
Don't have any implications on fuel?
They're going too slow to worry about it.
Ah, that's right then.
I mean, as soon as it starts raining, the fuel limit because basically is null and void. They're never going to have to coast. Oh, that's a very valid point, Mary. I hadn't thought of that. That would have been 89 or 88 or something like that. Yeah, because he cut the chicane technically, which would have been about 12 feet. Or something to that effect. Yeah, I know that one. That was where Prost won the championship and Ayrton lost it. Yeah, I hadn't thought of that one. Bit more relevant, bit more modern.
I just noticed that Perez has a Kit Kat.
He does, yeah.
Kit Kat logo on his.
And I've been staring at it all race. It's like, why do I want a Kit Kat? Oh, yeah.
Have a break, have a Kit Kat.
Driver of the day vote is so far Alonso. Being fair, it's one of the only ones who hasn't done anything stupid today. Mary, it sounds like you are suggesting a conspiracy there. Okay.
Gained 4 position and has the fastest lap.
I'm just reminding myself of the order. That red flag did benefit Russell quite massively. Because he was obviously out there skittering around on hard tyres. Here we go. I mean, Max is already gone, frankly. Saying it, Alonso has got a good drive off the final corner.
I'm back.
Front. Alonso is looking at Max. If Alonso wins this, I'm going to have to think of a forfeit. And we're going to have to get back into our predictions and whatnot. I don't feel up to speed for this. Okay, Russell's got Norris. Bottas has fallen down behind Lawson. There's a great big puddle on that corner. Did you hear that? That's a 5-10 second penalty or something like that, isn't it?
Yeah.
Alonso's not letting Max go. He's going to try and force Max into a fault. Mario says about DRS. I don't think it will be enabled in these conditions. Perez penalty. Yeah, we expected that. 5. Only 5 seconds for speeding in the pit lane. Right. Gasly's already 4 seconds behind him, so that's not going to matter. Oh no, that's the Delta to Max, excuse me. Okay, we've got Hamilton right on the back of Sainz as well. Alonso is slightly... What's happened to Russell? What has happened to Russell? I've lost Sarah.
I'm back.
Oh, there we go. Have you been able to see what's been going on?
Yeah, why is Russell in?
I don't know. He just said, I'm out. So Alonso's starting to fall away from Max a little. No, saying that, he's still within a second. I don't think DRS will be enabled in these conditions because it is still wet. I mean, it's not damp, it's wet. So Norris somewhere has, I think, got ahead of Albon. So what the hell happened to Russell?
No idea.
Apparently it was a bit into between him and Norris. Russell and Norris.
Who? Oh, puncture.
Okay, so then he's gone back out. It says it's an incident that's been noted. Okay. So that's be probably front wing to rear wing, won't it? Front wing to rear tyre.
Potentially.
Um,
See it here.
touch. If that is it, that is the lightest touch in the world. No, that's not Nasser's fault. No, that's, if anything, that's Russell's fault, but I don't think there's really a big fault there. I mean, they just touched. Okay. Signs, leave me alone. He's got Hamilton on his back. Yeah, he doesn't want any distractions.
No.
Okay, yeah, so Alonso is falling back from Verstappen a little bit now. But with Perez with that 5-second penalty, I think we'll be behind Norris.
Yeah, looking good for Gasly if he can stay within that 5 seconds to Perez.
Podium, yeah, podium for Gasly. I keep forgetting he's there.
Ferrari drivers, handshake, leave me alone.
So, yeah, 5 seconds from Perez. We'll put him... No, he's going to put him behind just Gasly. Sainz is too far back. Sainz is too slow. Yeah. Go on there. Get in there, Lewis. Tell Bono you need some fresh tyres.
It's all over now, Gasly on the podium. Yeah, if he can stay within the 5 seconds to Perez.
Yeah. Sainz is so slow. Yeah, Alonso is now settled for P2, which is fair enough. If he was going to get Max, it would have been at the restart.
Yeah.
If Perez takes a dive, Alonso should just let him go. Oh, go back to... race directors.
So Alonso had beat can't restart, but now falling in pace.
He's settled. He's probably deployed all of his battery as well, trying to get onto the back of Max.
Potentially.
So Albon has Piastri on his back as well, with Ocon close behind him. But yeah, this is the battle on the track at the moment. If Hamilton gets past Sainz, there's a very good chance that Norris will get past him as well. Why are they showing Perez on the split screen? He's not doing anything. Okay, so there's no DRS, so the passing at the moment is a lot more difficult. Because they're not seeing any drivers really get on the pass another one. Saying it. Lightest of touches between Hamilton and Sainz there.
Yeah.
So Hamilton is being a little bit tentative here. He's not doing anything stupid, but he's not being brave enough either.
Lawson has gained a couple of positions. He's close to Yuki. Although, is the 10-second going on top of his final time, or did they get rid of that penalty already?
He should have served it already at the other pit stop in the dry earlier on. Should have.
If so, being on the back of Yuki on his first ever F1 race.
Little bit of luck.
Yeah.
It is a bit of luck given all the safety cars, but it's a good
True.
result. Okay, that's race consecutive victory equaling record for Max. So Gasly goes into P3. Good race. Now for the Formula One national anthem of Netherlands and Austria. While we're waiting for all this to crack on, should we get started with the tier breakdown? Because we are probably on a bit of a longer stream than what we intended. It should have already been over.
Can do.
Let's do that. We can always take a break in the middle of it to watch the podium.
Yeah, sounds good.
Alright, let's do that. I'll keep an eye on the F1, and what I will do is when it comes up to the podium, I will switch back for you. Okay?
Look at where Lawson finished. I forgot Yuki had that 5-second penalty.
Oh yeah. That's bad luck for Yuki more than anything. Whereas yeah, did mess another race. And the strategy for Yuki was very questionable, I would agree. Right. So for you, Sarah, if I change the window, go to that for you.
Very much like.
I've got that up on screen. I just need a copy of the qualifying. Have you got the race results with you?
I will do in just a second. I have not got it. Wait, bear with. There we are.
Alright, let's crack on. Should we do it straight away? Just absolutely crack through this one?
Yeah. Screaming.
It's Gasly.
Yeah.
It's Gasly.
Jesus Christ. Wait.
Yeah, that is Gasly. You can hear screaming. Right. Should we crack on through this?
Yeah, sounds good.
Right, we'll start in alphabetical order. Albon, start at P4.
Albono. Finished P8.
Honest. What's your feeling on his position, on his ranking?
He would do.
Oh, I think we might have lost you. Someone's internet isn't. Your internet.
Wet weather scenarios.
Oh, you may have to repeat that. I lost you completely there.
I was saying that he got a little bit unlucky with the wet weather scenarios,
Yes.
but he was doing quite well
Ranking.
at one point.
Ranking. Finish P8.
I would say either a strong C plus, or maybe squeaks into a B.
Honestly, I think you have to give him a B. I mean, some of his driving today has been A grade, but the fact he was 60 seconds off the lead after like 5 laps, thanks to strategy, which might be him, and it might be team. But I think his driving has been exemplary today, so I think B's fair.
Yeah.
Cool. We'll move on with that one. Cool. Okay. Next one, Alonso. We know he's obviously finished P2 and started P5. What do you feel? What do you feel?
I think I'm back.
I didn't lose you. I didn't.
I lost myself then.
Oh, okay.
I don't know what's going on today.
Yeah, your internet seems to be not coping very well today. So, okay, next one. Alonso started P5, ended up in P2. What's your feelings?
I mean, probably a B then.
A B?
Maybe an A, I don't know.
An A?
Don't know. He did
I'm not going to give you the answer of what I'm going to say.
Oh, I don't know.
Couple of cracking moves. There was one round signs around the outside or something. I can't remember which one it was. But he was electric every time the rain came down. And he's taken that Aston Martin, which is arguably not too good anymore, up to P2. I think that's a solid A. A very solid A. Yeah?
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Right. Valtteri Bottas, who started P18.
Finished P15. Behind Lawson and Magnussen.
C minus or D?
Yeah, I'll potentially go maybe.
Finished behind Lawson on his first race. D?
Yeah.
Right, this one is Nick de Vries on this one, so this is going to be Lawson. First race, extremely tricky conditions, no incidents other than what the team put him in for the pit stop. None really whatsoever.
Finished above.
Can we?
Russell, Tsunoda, Bottas, Magnussen.
Can we give him an A for effort on this one?
Yeah.
I mean,
I think so.
Yeah. Bear in mind this is de Vries. I'll have to update this one. I keep forgetting to do it. Outstanding first race from him. For some
Yeah,
reason,
100%.
my actual race feed is actually just switched off. That's weird. So I can't see the race feed at all now. Well, it's not a race feed. That is odd. What has happened there? Okay, well, we're not seeing the podium, I'm afraid, there, Sarah.
Right.
Sorry about that.
Sorry, I'm sure we'll see it like everywhere in a minute.
Yeah, probably. Okay, next one. It is Gasly. Started P12.
Finish P3.
Hit me with your rank. Got signs after a lot of dicing.
I'll tell you either a B or an A. He's done really well.
I'm thinking.
In an Alpine.
Do you know what I'm thinking?
What?
A star.
Really?
A star. 12th to 3rd in an Alpine. In these conditions, no incidents. Passing around a Ferrari at very least.
Go on then.
Yeah. A star. A star. So, honestly, yeah, and he defended well when he needed to. Absolutely.
No Jack.
Next one. Hamilton.
Hamilton.
Started low down in P13.
Finish P6.
I'm going to make an argument for a solid B. Same as Albon.
Done nothing wrong, but obviously.
Did a few passes. Yeah.
Yeah, qualifying didn't set him up.
No.
Well.
No, and his qualifying was botched a little bit by the fact he'd gone too early in the drying track and into track evolution. So.
Did I miss the GP? It's just finished.
Yes, it has just finished. Like 10 minutes ago. Okay, so Hamilton.
Wait, did you?
What?
Was that for Russell?
Was what for Russell? So you've gone again.
I'm back, I think. Was that? I thought we were doing Hamilton then.
We were doing Hamilton.
We're not, because you moved Russell into B.
No, I haven't.
Yeah, you have.
That's a lot. That's Albon.
Oh yeah. It looks like Hamilton's thing there.
That's fair. CBD. First off, hello, buddy. One of my TTR fellow compatriots. Put Logan Sargent at the top of the tier list. I will, because you asked nicely. What? No! Doesn't deserve it. Hamilton.
Yeah. I'd say B.
B. Very solid drive from him. Right.
Albon does look like Russell. Like I can see it's so small, and it just looks like identical.
Zoom in. Right. Charles Leclerc. I'm just going to move straight past that one. Charles Leclerc started at 9th. DNF'd.
Yep. Got passed by Lawson.
Cut across the gravel, probably causing his own damage. And the CBT was thinking what I was thinking. Chuck Leclerc. Honestly, I think it's an E drive from him. Terrible race. Caused his own damage.
F for Ferrari.
You're thinking F.
For Ferrari.
I'm going to make a case for an E. Because he didn't crash into anyone, cause any stupid incident. He's just had a terrible race. E for Ferrari.
Eari.
Early. Can I tempt you into an E?
Yes.
Thank you. K-Mag.
Finish.
Started quite high, if I remember correctly. Can't spot the guy. Did he start from the pit lane?
He did, yeah.
That's why.
D20.
Yeah, because there's 19 starters on here and I can't spot him. Okay, so yeah, he started from the pit lane and ended up where?
14th. Behind Lawson.
Where did Bottas end up?
15th.
C minus.
Yeah. That wasn't amazing, but
He hasn't been off the road or
driving.
anything either.
yeah.
He's done
We
better.
did go off the road when it was wet.
I think we can give a lot of people a pass on that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's gone upwards, but it's still not a good race. Norris started P2.
Finished P7.
Down 5
Didn't
places.
Pit,
Yeah,
didn't
that-
pit for the Inters.
Yeah, that first session of rain screwed his race completely, didn't it?
Yeah.
But how much is that is down to him? How much is down to the team?
Don't know, difficult one to call, isn't it? Because they did the same for Piastri. I don't know. A few good moves afterwards, though, but
Yeah,
couldn't really make much from it. I'd
given
go, yeah.
given the
T.
scale of the cock up, willing to agree with yourself and Pedro. Give him a C for a good comeback drive, but we just don't know where the decision for the tyre strategy came from.
Mm-hmm.
So C it is. Ocon started 16th.
Finish P10.
C plus for a point.
Yeah. Was the first to go on the wets, but then obviously.
That would have so benefited him in hindsight.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm still irritated by that all the other drivers went out in inters. It's downpouring with rain. Intermediates is fine. CBD says, I was having flashbacks because I had a league race on Friday where the weather was exactly the same as in Zandvoort. Wet, dry, wet, dry, wet, dry. Right. C plus.
Yeah.
We've got one in every category. Except for F so far. Don't worry, it's coming. We know who it's going to be. Perez started 7th.
Finish P4.
Sped in the pit lane.
Annoying.
Spun in the wet, which you can give that one a pass. Also clunked the barrier on the way into the pit lane.
Mm-hmm.
I want to give him a D and a B at the same time.
Go for a C then, in the middle.
Same as Norris, who's been up and down all over the place.
Yeah.
'Cause realistically, do you know what? I'm heading towards a C minus. How fast did Max catch him when it was in Inter's conditions? Like a second and a half a lap every single lap.
Yeah.
C minus?
Done then. Yeah,
Yeah.
go on then. Not going to argue it.
Yeah, and he got himself that pit lane speeding penalty, and it took himself out of effectively even racing for second, and ended up 4th. Yeah, that's a bit poor from him. Piastri. Started P8.
Finish P9. Again, McLaren's strategy at the start probably didn't help.
Put him with Norris. They both did quite well. I do think Norris had a stronger drive.
Yeah, I agree.
McLaren boys together. Oh, and CBD actually said C minus for Perez as well. So we got a little bit of agreement going on here, and agree with the Norris.
It's always good.
Yeah, and Pedro says Piastri was nowhere, but that strategy at the beginning screwed him. Right.
Yeah.
Carlito Sainz. P6, qualified, starting.
Yep, and finish P5. Ferrari just wasn't there this weekend, was it?
Not really. I think it's kind of like the same like Ocon though, kind of like it existed and
Yeah, it was
done.
there.
He's done all right.
Yeah.
He did hold off Hamilton though, and that is no mean feat.
I don't know then.
I'm gonna play a little bit of devil's advocate. I don't think he did enough to warrant a B. I think it's a strong C plus.
Yeah, I was gonna say C or C plus. So I'll agree with C plus. I was gonna say I don't think he's at Hamilton level.
Yeah. No big mistakes. No big overtakes, really.
No, just existed, really.
Yeah, he's been going in the dry backwards a little bit, so ahead of Ocon, I think. So there or thereabouts. Do you know what? Someone we haven't actually really seen in this race, Lance Stroll, who started. Where the hell is he? 11th.
Finished 11th.
With Bottas?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Just there.
I mean, he's not actually made any mistakes. He's there, and the car, obviously, with Alonso coming in P2, the car should be further up.
That's exactly it. A bit of purple rain going on here. Thank you very much. Didn't see who that was. Oh, hey, hello, Em. A little bit of purple rain time. I love it. Yeah, Stroll's just existed there, and
yeah, like you said, the car should be further up the grid.
Yeah, the McLaren boys and Albon and all that ended up a minute off the pace at one point, and they still ended up in the points. Yeah. Stroll just did Lance even race. Yeah. Lance D, done. Okay.
Jack, have you seen what Jack said in the chat?
Yes.
Yes.
I was fed up 8 races ago. And Em says hello to you both.
Hi.
Hi. Sergeant.
Yeah.
Okay, Yuki.
I
mean, that one's obvious.
Yeah. Now we have literally everyone in one category.
Yeah. As simple as that. Yuki.
I love Max, but bro, gotta stop.
Dude, we want a bit of variety. Listen to me.
A little bit of fighting action.
Yes.
Sonoda finished P16, obviously with that 5-second penalty that brought him down from 14th
and
to 16th.
He started 17th. He was running very high, but he was
40, like 50 lap hold softs.
Yeah, very strong race, but questionable strategy.
Yeah, goal hanging for sure. I'd maybe say C or C plus.
I was thinking
I'd go C actually.
I was thinking C plus or B. I think we should let the chat decide. What do you think? B, yes. C plus or C? Majority wins. C for Jack.
He did defend, but he also obviously there will come a point where
C for
as
M.
much as he was gonna defend, they were already going past him, sort of thing.
Yeah.
I see where this is going.
Yeah. CBD, who has most of the letters in his name, what do you think? C plus. So we've had 2 C's, a C plus. Come on, CBD, give us your ranking. He was all over the place, but what is his ranking? C. It's a C.
Yep, the majority wins with a C.
I do think it is a strong C, though.
Oh, 100%.
So
Just the wrong strategy, I believe. But
Yeah, I mean, if he were to do that more often, he deserves an F1 seat.
no, I agree.
Right,
I agree.
Max.
Do. Max, what's that happen?
Let's just review where he started. He started P1.
Okay.
Where did he finish?
Oh, I'm not quite sure. Maybe P1.
A or A star?
I mean, didn't make any mistakes, did he? Yeah. We can't really fault him because he didn't spin. I don't think he even went off in the rain. Yeah.
Made Perez look like a chump.
Yep.
Move on.
Yep.
Just move on, please.
But who had the best looking clean race today? Probably Max.
Yeah. Absolutely. Red Bull were faultless. Max was faultless. The only two that come close to him was Alonso and Gasly for very different reasons. So, yeah, alright, Joe ended up in the barrier. I'm not sure what lap it was. Yes. It was 67-ish or 65-ish.
Yeah, just before the red flag, I believe.
Yeah, he caused it. And he started 15th. Was running as high as, I think, P4 or 5.
And then finished 18th, obviously. He was the last DNF of that race.
And that car is a dog. I mean, it is god-awful. Joe was doing really well. I know I said we have to ignore the crashes and whatnot and the spins. However, he went in that corner so fast he was never going to stop.
Yeah, and the aquaplaning just meant that he was set to go into those barriers no matter what.
Yeah. I'm going to say something a little controversial. Strong C-. I think he would have been C plus B territory if he hadn't crashed.
Yeah.
But he went into that corner way too fast for the conditions. I mean, it wasn't even just a little bit. It was just like... Whoop.
He deserves some credit for doing well. Yeah, no, he definitely done well. I'm not saying that he didn't. It's just obviously...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you agree with that?
I agree with that, yes.
Yeah. Pedro, I think he deserves a C- with the asterisk saying, had a great race up until made a really poor decision.
Yeah.
So, it's tough. And catch you later, Em.
Bye.
Hülkenberg. 14th on the grid.
Finished P12.
He may have braked earlier than we think, Pedro, but he was definitely going way too quick. I mean, although the other drivers didn't hit the barrier, is my point. Right, so... Where did he finish, sorry? Hulk?
P12.
Tricky race. Where did K-Mag finish?
P14.
P14.
So Lawson was in a Haas sandwich.
Ooh. See.
Done nothing wrong, just kind of average drive for a Haas, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'd
nothing wrong. No incidents. Slow car.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a good drive from Hulkenberg. It's not special. But
again, they just kind of existed.
yeah, they did. I mean, which is kind of nice to have, because the time you only ever see him is the time they're putting it in the wall.
Yep, or crashing or something.
Yeah. Russell. Started was it P3, P4?
P3.
P3, yeah.
And finished P17. He was the big loser today. Let's just
I'm trying to think of positives for the race.
Yeah.
His pace
Wasn't.
on the hards was good. Strategy
Yep.
was weird.
Yep.
The initial strategy was very odd, staying out on slicks in the wet.
Yep.
That save from Russell going through the high-speed right-hander, as CBD's just reminded me, was epic.
Yep.
But that was a problem he caused himself.
Yep.
Russell did have a nightmare of a race. He did
Yep.
effectively cause his own puncture on Norris.
Yep. And I think that was the nail in the coffin right there.
Yeah, I don't know where to put him. What does the chat think? What do you think, Sarah?
Well, personally, I would maybe C minus D, maybe potentially. Like maybe scrapes in a C, because obviously.
I think an argument could be made for E, D, and all the C's or under them.
Oh, Pedro, I'd say D at the very least, if not a lower ranking.
CBD says D as well. This is literally a thing for you, CBD, isn't it? Where do they rank him? C, B, or D?
Yeah,
I'm thinking D.
I'm thinking D as well. I think we've got a
A
majority vote there.
A trio of poor results for Bottas, Stroll, and Russell. Do you know what?
There's our list.
I think I'm happy with that.
Yeah, I think we've kind of captured it quite nicely. A few standouts, a few kind of just existing, a few average, bit tough. Like went back, then came back through the race. Again, a few that just existed. A few that were unlucky. And then some that should have performed better but didn't. And then
one that pinned it.
One that pinned it, and one that crashed. And
yeah, one's definitely seen the starting to the end of his F1 career.
Yes. Potentially.
So Lawson and Williams next year then, or Mick.
Potentially, you never know. But I think a big shout out to Lawson. Obviously, I think the impeding wasn't necessarily his fault, but
yeah,
he made a bad situation better.
He did. That is a lovely sentiment. Made a bad situation better.
He made I think it's definitely a very good debut for him, and maybe, just maybe, the start of his career. Maybe a few teams will be knocking on his door.
You know, my thinking is automatically Helmut Marko's doing this.
He's like
one driver with one good race performance. Let's have him and ruin him. I still feel sorry for De Vries. I really do.
Yeah.
It wouldn't make sense to go to Williams.
I'd like to see Mick in Williams before, anyone, but
it'd be alongside Yuki. Depends what Danny Rick does. I mean, if he comes back at Singapore, is on pace with Yuki, then AlphaTauri and Red Bull will have a real headache.
Yeah.
I think, hot take, one thing we can take away from this one is Perez has a contract for Red Bull next year. Does that extend to being dropped to AlphaTauri?
Yeah, Helmut Marko has changed his mind recently about Perez.
Shocker. I mean, ever since his win, I think it was at Monaco, he's been all over the place. Yeah. Hot take, I would almost problem is if you put Perez down to AlphaTauri, where would Lawson go?
Down. I don't think Perez would go down.
Might not have a choice.
I think they would just drop him.
I was going to say, they could do the exact same thing as what McLaren did for Piastri. Or you get where I'm going with this. For Ricardo, bump him off. Perez's seat does look in doubt, doesn't it?
It does, unfortunately, and like you say, and Sargent's. Everyone else kind of just existing.
Exactly.
Stroll, obviously. I mean, he was out. If anything, he would have been out of seat a while ago. But
yeah, just based on results, not on the fact we don't like him.
Yeah.
Does Bottas have a seat next year? Yeah, he's in Alfa Romeo again. Oh, it's not Alfa Romeo next year. It's Sauber next year, isn't it?
Yeah, before it goes to Audi.
It should be in 24, no, 5 or 6.
I can't remember. I think it's 26, but it might come in earlier. I'm not sure.
Because Alfa is going to sponsor Haas next year, isn't it?
Believe
it's
so.
It's going to be Haas like Alfa Romeo or something like that.
Something like that.
I don't think Bottas will retire. I don't think he has the... I think he's going to do like the old Barry Keller way of it. Try and just keep going until he's 40. Just appear at any team, no matter what team it is. I want to be in a team.
Yeah, I don't think he's best suited to Alpha. No. It's a shame to see him go from Mercedes to Alpha and then not have the performance that he had in that Mercedes.
Yeah, whereas he's a qualifying driver. He's not a race. His racecraft isn't that good.
Mercedes was alright.
He couldn't defend to save his life.
No,
right, hold up, Max.
Yep.
Every time. Who will sign Bottas? He's probably too costly. He probably is too costly because he's got all that experience in Mercedes. We've gone off topic here massively. Yeah.
We've got Hulk and Nico for a whole nother year.
Yes, I did hear. Alright, I'm going to write these down now. Let's make some predictions for Monza.
When is Monza?
A couple of weeks, I think.
A couple of weeks, right. Ooh. Let me think.
Okay. I'm going to write mine down now before say them to you.
Okay.
So, I'm going to say... I've got one. So how many are we going to do? How many predictions? 3 each?
3 each, yeah, if you want. 3 or 4 each.
Yeah.
It's next week.
It's next week. Okay, that came around quick.
It's next week. What? I'm trying to think.
I've got 2. Ooh. Alright. I've got 4, actually. Right, I've got 4.
Okay.
Have you got any?
Maybe. I'm not sure.
CD thinks 1 Ferrari podium and maybe a first-time winner. Hamilton back on the podium, maybe. So, do you know what? Let's put chat. Chat. So that is Ferrari podium. Hamilton podium was that as well? And first time winner. So you're going for a massively upset race. That is brave. Okay. Right. Sarah, have you got any of yours?
Yes. I'm gonna go. Wait, you go first if you want.
Okay, I will this time.
Okay.
Max does not win.
Oh my god.
That's number 1. Track limits causing race-altering positions in the last quarter of the race.
Possible.
It is possible. McLaren podium. 1 Ferrari out by Q2. Does not get into Q3. Actually. Yeah, no, I'll leave it as is.
Alright,
So I went with 4 in the end.
Okay, so I'm gonna go with Lawson finishes ahead of Yuki.
I forgot about Lawson. In the race.
Yep.
Sure. At least one of the Williams in the top 8 in the race. You can't have qualifying or race. Pick one. One driver retires due to mechanical failure in the race. Oh, come on. You might... At Monza. I'll think about that one. Leclerc qualifies in the top 3. That's brave. Lando miraculously finishes on the podium. Alright. I'll put some of them down. I'll screenshot them. Sarah, you've got 1 so far.
So, ooh. I'm trying to think.
So when you said you had
reckon I'm gonna say.
So alright, so essentially Petra says Albon in the top 8 for the race.
Doable.
Williams.
I'm gonna say Sargent.
Sargent.
Either has a crash or retires.
In the race or qualifying?
Race.
Okay.
And
1 or 2 more.
I reckon maybe a Merc on the podium. Either.
Merc podium.
Whatever.
So I went McLaren podium, you went Merc podium.
And I'm gonna go for I reckon.
Thank you for the follow, Mario.
Huh?
Always a pleasure, my dude.
I'm gonna go.
Pedro says, I mean, the only mechanical failures we have had were at K-Mag at Silverstone. Is that what we've had all year?
Damn.
I'm sure we've had the Ferraris do something or other.
I'm trying to think of my last one.
Ferrari engine.
I reckon.
Come on, you got 10 teams and 20 drivers to pick from.
I was gonna try and go something with Zhou.
Oh.
I reckon maybe gets the last point, so top 10.
Ooh.
Maybe.
Zhou points.
I tried to stick away with like the obvious, like Max or.
Yeah.
Perez or the Ferrari boys
Yeah, that's fair.
and the McLaren boys.
All right, I'll look at the chat ones in a minute properly, but so far mine are Max does not win, track limits causing race altering positions in the last quarter of the race, McLaren podium, one Ferrari not in Q3. Sarah's yours is Lawson ahead of Yuki in the race, Sargent crashes out and retires. I'll give you a point now. Mercedes podium and Joe points. Both of us are in risk of getting either all of them or none of them there, aren't we?
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, so that's quite interesting. But otherwise we have Ferrari podium, Hamilton podium, first time winner. Those are basically from CVT. And Williams top 8 from Pedro and a couple of others which I'll look at and finesse. But we did say it would be like a DNFs for mechanical failures. But I'll look at the wording on it. And okay, from CVT, the stats tells me one of the Red Bulls and Ferraris will make contact. The stats, yeah. T1 and cause Aston Martin to get by. Checo could probably win the same way as he won his first race. Oh, the stars, like the predicting. Right, I get you. Fair.
The stars.
By the stars. Right. Last thing to do, you know what it is? Rate the race. Ready? Because I am.
Alright, I'm ready. Wait, I've got to think how many fingers I've got to hold up.
Ready?
Yep.
No, I can't quite see what you're doing. Oh, it's on the same. We're going for 8.
Oh, yeah.
Did you just go? How many fingers am I holding up? 8 it is.
No, yeah, no, 8. I think
Entertaining.
excitement-wise, yeah, and entertainment-wise, it was unpredictable at one point. Obviously, not Max. It was predictable, but like Max downwards was unpredictable. The rain threw in a little bit more excitement.
Yeah.
We now know that categorically F1 does not race in the in the rain.
Pretty much.
But yeah, it led for a quite entertaining race. Not necessarily for the win, but for every other place.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And the weather helped quite a lot. It does show a little bit of wet weather is a lot of fun in the game in the game of F1.
Throws a little bit of like strategy, like either strategy mishaps or strategy like getting 100% right.
True that.
Yes, I thought it was quite entertaining.
Moving on. Monza next.
Monza.
It's been fun. Thank you everyone that's been in the chat. We'll see you all at Monza. And we'll be back for the Prix GP next Saturday night, at the very least.
Saturday night.
At the Prix GP. Kind of works. Bye.
Excited for it.